Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast. I'm Santi, that's Sancho. Oh, buddy, we finally got the conversation we've been wanting. John Cena and Cody Rhodes. And we'll be talking about that and so much more on this episode. But Sancho, before I do the rigmarole of Patreon and all that stuff, how are you?
I just realized you're wearing the same shirt from last week. So now it looks like you've been wearing the same shirt for a whole month.
Ew. Ew, brother. Ew. Oh, I'm sorry. Do washing machines not exist? I never understood that when people are like, you're wearing the same thing from this video. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I washed it. I have technology that allows me to not have to change shirts 7 days a week. I can change, once every couple of days. It is what it is, man. People are so judgmental. People like you are so judgmental over others' fashions because you got fancy red glasses, bum-ass, lame-ass red glasses, clashing with your green hat. You out here making fun of my shirt. I make fun of you. Make fun of you. What does your shirt say? What does your shirt say? I'm an idiot?
Jeff Gordon?
Same thing. They don't know how to turn right. Oh, NASCAR drivers just turning left all the time.
Hey, you brought up a childhood memory. My favorite things to go to is one of these old car washes. You could put the little towel in between the little thing. You could squeeze out all the water. That's how I imagine you, old school.
Oh, dude, that's still a thing. That's still a thing in some areas of the world.
Yeah, old school.
Yeah, very old school. It's old school or third world. In Colombia, they were using them left, right, and center.
So is Damian doing an old school move? I think so. I love Damian Priest now. I'm on the Damian Priest train. Hook it up. Straight to my veins. You know why? Because he's undead now.
He's not. No, he is not undead. Damian Priest. Stop it. He said, "Rest in peace." Is that all you got?
Yes, and he appeared out of nowhere behind a door. Who sits there behind a door? Okay, come on. He phantom right behind the door. He's undead. Damian Priest. The guy's dropping RIPs left and right. And you said, "Oh, Sancho, that's stupid."
Because it is. It's the dumbest thing ever. And I hate that you're even 1% right. I hate that there's even anything that points to you being right. Because that was maybe, Sancho, you have said some god-awful, stupid things on this podcast. And that might be the worst one, suggesting Damian Priest to be undead. And you're like kind of right.
I love it. I love with the WWE. There's some guy or somebody out there that goes, you know what? Let's give Sancho a little bone right here. You know what I mean? Let's throw him a bone. Last week it was Braun Strowman and LA Knight. Braun Strowman, LA Knight being together on screen. You would have never predicted those two to be together in 2025. Am I wrong?
I guess not. Yeah, but
right.
But I don't understand what you're saying that you did that got us LA Knight and Braun Strowman.
I'm Braun Strowman.
Just because you're doing the voice, you think?
I'm telling you, I'm predicting this right now. All right, 5 gifted by the end of the year. No, make it 10 gifted by the end of the year. If Braun Strowman doesn't go, you know why? Because I'm Braun Strowman. If he doesn't do that, give you 10 gifted.
All right. Sounds good. Well, folks, welcome to the Wrestling is Cool podcast, coolest wrestling podcast on the planet. You could be getting this episode 3 days earlier than everywhere else on the planet over on Patreon, patreon.com/Santi's app. What are you laughing at?
I just thought about a Martian wrestling podcast.
Well, you think there's a podcast in Mars that's cooler than us?
yeah. It's like, I guess. I mean, we're the best Earth podcast, but maybe on Mars there's someone out there like, yeah.
Was that worth it? Was that a little bit worth, stopping the train I was on, the role I was on, the business conducting I was doing here?
Yeah. Shout out to
your Martian friend. You can be getting this podcast 3 days earlier than everywhere else over on patreon.com/Santi's app. Not only
those Martians are going to take a long time to get this broadcast. You know what I mean? The little wait.
Let me get through this.
We'll probably be dead, but
3 days earlier than everywhere else. The Raw reviews, the SmackDown reviews, our Wrestling is Cool Match Club watch-alongs, which, by the way, it's WrestleMania week. It is WrestleMania week for the next couple of weeks. All the matches that we're watching are WrestleMania matches from the past. The big headliner from this week's batch is John Cena versus The Rock, WrestleMania 28. You'll be getting our astute commentary that usually just involves us having a conversation about something that might not even be related to what we're watching. But come check it out. The match club that are matches that you, of course, get to vote on. But the big topic of today, Sancho, we're actually just off the backs of watching this. We had to record this a day early, so we're recording this literally like 2 hours after Monday Night Raw. Let's talk about John Cena and Cody Rhodes. They finally have gotten together, Sancho. What?
That is not his name. It's like the worst version of Cody Rhodes.
So so I had a buddy in college. He was like kind of into wrestling. He just kept coming up with the best nicknames for wrestlers at the time. This would have been like 2012. So Cody Rhodes was around. He's like Cody Rhodes. He's like Michael McGillicuddy, more like Michael McSilliputty, and it just like stuck. Now to this day, I can't see Curtis Axel and not call him Michael McSilliputty, and Cody Rhodes has still stuck with me to this day.
Cody Rhodes. Cody
Rhodes. Would Netflix be censoring that?
Dude, they were uncensored this week, weren't they?
Yeah, let's talk about that. So we finally got the conversation that so many of us have been waiting and clamoring for, John Cena and Cody Rhodes. For the past several weeks, it's been asynchronous promos where they've been in the ring, but they haven't really actually had a conversation with each other. For the past 2 weeks, we've had Cena kind of like berating the fans and Cody Rhodes going out there and berating Cena for whatever it is that Cena said. But finally, we had the conversation, and there was so many people concerned that John Cena was going to bury Cody Rhodes. He was going to cook him out of existence. And it's funny because that's what Cena said he was going to do. In my opinion, I don't think that he buried Cody. I think Cody absolutely handled his own in this promo. I think Cena's promo was significantly better, in my opinion. And I can give you kind of like the reasons as to why, but I thought they were both great. What?
You can't be unbiased here for a second.
I can.
You're sitting there in a Thugonomics shirt, and you have a spinner belt behind you.
Hey, man.
You are the #1 Cena fan, and you're like, no, is it like a 9 to 9.5?
It's really close. I think it's really close. I don't think this was a situation where anybody like destroyed each other. The only reason, and I think this might be subjective, this is why you have so many people saying Cody won and a bunch of people saying Cena won. It's pretty split. But the reason I think Cena won is because Cena was able to get his message across without grabbing as much of the low-hanging fruit as Cody had to, right? When you go back and look at the promo, it's pretty easy to get a pop when you call someone a piece of shit on live TV. Cody did that. It's pretty easy to get a pop when you mention, never mention his name, Vince McMahon. It's pretty easy to get a pop that way. So we got a lot of those moments from Cody Rhodes, the big zingers, the big buzzworthy sentences that are really easy to get pops from. But the message that Cody Rhodes also had was really good. Meanwhile, John Cena was able to deliver all of his zingers in a PG-13 environment, brother, but they still are hurt. And yes, John Cena did go a little bit with, below the belt by going for the AEW route, but even the way that he said it was brilliantly executed, by saying that I make empires for billionaires, but all you do is steal money from their kids. Absolutely ingenious line to talk about Tony Khan without saying Tony Khan. Absolutely genius. Cody had a lot of those moments as well. I thought it was basically tied. I would say, if anything, I like Cena's delivery more. It's less reliant on buzzworthy, catchphrasey insults. It was more substance. That's my personal opinion on it. And I hope that sounded non-biased. I tried to play it down as well as I could.
No, the thing is that you're forgetting that Cody took all the low-hanging fruit off the board. He beat John Cena to the punch.
Yeah, that's the 8 Mile. That's literally what Eminem does.
Yeah, you're gonna talk about Stardust, the S word, Stardust, and that you're actually main eventing WrestleMania with Stardust. Like, come on, dude. That was a kind of a fire line to show how far, quote unquote, John Cena has fallen. I think a little bit of the John Cena promo, if I could poke some holes in it, if I may, kind of sounded like a man with a podcast, and he's an aging superstar trying to hate on the young buck in Cody Rhodes, saying that he is a man that he's copying him, taking him his playbook, and all of a sudden that he is, what's the word that he say? He is
the blueprint.
No, he's like a mediocrity, right? He talked about how Cody Rhodes is a mediocrity at its finest, and that he is talent, and that he doesn't bury anybody. He just buries mediocrity, and he is the talent. That kind of stuff. I don't think it was. I think it was even. If you had to ask me, if that's a fair thing to say, an answer
it was
I could give.
basically, even in my end, it was basically even. All I'm saying is I like the delivery of one over the other.
It felt like a little bit of CM Punkish, right? A little bit of taboo, right? We love a little taboo sprinkled. I wonder, when did it become okay? And I think it had to start with CM Punk to be able to go a little bit inside baseball and to outdo each other in that way. Because the promos were really never really rarely like that. We're talking about promos of Tiffany and Charlotte where it's always like, who's outmaneuvering each other, who is crossing the line, who is able to dig into each other. And same thing with Logan Paul and things of that sort. Who can dig cross the lines with Logan? Who could dig a little deeper? And I feel like with John Cena and Cody Rhodes, they could dig deeper, right? They could go past that taboo layer that they're not supposed to. And I just wonder, when did it become okay, like, for us fans to enjoy that? Like, when is that an angle of promos?
I think you hit it. I think it's CM
Right?
Punk. I'm trying to think, in the Ruthless Aggression era, it was never about, oh, he beat him on the mic. Oh man, he cooked him. It never felt like it was ever about that. But it's definitely gotten more like that ever since the Punk pipe bomb. Where it is about being able to win the crowd with your words and almost like win that night's battle with your words, right? Over your opponent. We've definitely seen Cena do it before, and we've seen Cena not just like win, but like win, flawless victory, fatality against some other people in the past. That was not this, right? That is not what we had. I think what we had, if we want to use a gaming reference, we were having a Street Fighter 2 fight, and my character won with a sliver of health, but it wasn't even the end of the match. It's just one of the rounds.
Well, like, for example, and what I mean is, what I'm trying to get at is Stone Cold Steve Austin, when he cut his famous promo, it wasn't really about, it was a little clever because it was about Jake the Snake Roberts, and he was like, don't just get him out of the ring, get him out of the WWF, because I've proven, son, without a shadow of doubt, you ain't got what it takes anymore. You sit there and you thump your Bible and you say your prayers, and it didn't get you anywhere. Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Well, Austin 3:16 just said, I just whipped your ass. And all he's got to do is to buy a cheap bottle of Thunderbird, little taboo, right? Ooh, because remember, Jake the Snake had a little bit of alcoholism problem, and try to dig back some of that courage he had in his prime. Ooh.
That's fire. That's fire.
Right?
That's fire.
Right?
That's a little bit of what we witnessed tonight, actually.
Right? That's a little bit of that. But what I'm trying to get at is that a lot of the promos back in the Attitude eras, until The Rock came around, really, where it's not really about making your opponent look completely stupid. It was just like, I'm a tougher guy than you. So I feel like in this era of promos, we've got a very nuanced promo, right? Where you got to know inside baseball. You got to know how Cody Rhodes became with AEW, and you got to know who Tony Khan is, right? To really enjoy that juice. It's interesting because CM Punk has been dropping those hints every now and then in his promos, and they don't really get much as a pop as this one does. Because last time CM Punk goes, I work with children, and that's
no one caught that. No one caught that.
Yeah. I did. I was like, this is exciting. So I'm wondering if it's clear to me that at this level with Cody Rhodes and John Cena, everyone understood exactly what was being said, the subtext to what was being said. What I enjoyed the most from Cody Rhodes is that he did beat John to the punch, but he was not afraid to call out John Cena to his face. And I got to pick your brain about this, because I thought about this when I was listening to the promo. What's the difference between these two and the pairing of John Cena and The Rock? Because that one felt like a measuring contest of sorts, my friend. It was more of like, this guy represents the Attitude Era, John Cena represents the current brand. And to me, it didn't feel like those two were working together to give a great promo, while Cody and John Cena are.
You literally hit it on the head. These guys were dancing with each other. These guys were teeing each other up 100%. When we go back and you watch The Rock and John Cena promos, they are uncomfortable. Like, The Rock will be talking and you can see Cena kind of like laughing, smirking, almost like belittling what The Rock is saying. That did not feel like a dance of words. That totally felt like one is trying to outduel the other and make the other one look worse than they themselves look. While here, I think it's the reason why it works so well. They were teeing each other up, setting each other up for great zingers, like not overstepping the boundaries of like making each other look absolutely like worthless, terrible, and burying each other. And maybe, that's part of the reason why Cody Rhodes immediately removed that from the equation. Because listen, if John Cena goes out there and makes fun of his lisp and makes fun of Stardust, it would have hurt. It would have hurt Cody. But Cody bringing it up and removing it from the equation, one, tells the fans, okay, now we're not going to hear it, so we can kind of remove that from our expectations. But two, then kind of forces and pivots John Cena's message to what I thought was something far deeper and far better. Now, whether you think he's right or wrong, that's a different story, right? Whether you agree with what Cena's words are, that's not the crux of what I'm saying here. I'm just saying that the delivery was something that I preferred over Cody's delivery of his message.
What is that message? What is
whose message?
John Cena's message.
John Cena's message, more or less, it kind of felt like we're talking about the worst version of John Cena being at the top of the mountain, talking about my chauffeur somehow managed to use the blueprint that I set out, that I spent 20 years building, to now be at the top of the company where now they celebrate mediocrity, which was his line. Absolutely banger line. That to me is a message of delusion from John Cena. A message where he feels like his work is being used as a stepping stone and he is not being recognized. Another line that I love from John Cena was where he said that regardless of what I was being given, the garbage that I had to work with, I made it work. Right? Because we talk so many times about the 2010s being and late 2000s just being some of the worst WWE TV that we've ever seen. And who is the face of that terrible era of professional wrestling? It was John Cena. So for example, like when Cody brought up the Vince McMahon line, that didn't land with me, because how is that a dig at Cena? He had no control. He had no control over who's running the company. Yeah, the evil man picked him to become the face of the company, but he has no choice over that matter. That didn't resonate with me. That to me felt really like a cheap mention of Vince McMahon. Cody's message felt a little bit more convoluted. Like what would you say Cody's message was in his promo?
I think Cody was essentially calling out John Cena that he doesn't see that he's fallen. He's crestfallen. Like he's fallen down to this level where he's facing Cody Rhodes anymore. Like he's trying to shatter his disillusion that he is the almighty, that he is the guy that is going to save the WWE and take back what's his. When Cody's like, dude, we're fine. Like, look at us. We're at a whole new level. The fans love me. They chose me. You didn't choose me. Vince chose you. Type of vibe. Like
I wish he laid more into that. He didn't do that here.
I mean, he did say that, but you didn't say that previous weeks as well. It's like, these people chose me, and he said it when he told The Rock to, he had his decision. but what Cody is saying about the entire thing is like, hey man, that moment when The Rock came out and said it's going to be him and Roman Reigns and gave him a hug and all that kind of stuff, the fans said, no, we want Cody Rhodes. And I think you're right. Then maybe they got to lean into that a little bit harder. But I think that was Cody's message. And the biggest message is that he's not going to let John Cena run over him. He's not going to let him bury him, as everybody does. That John Cena does, like Austin Theory and Solo Sikoa. And more importantly, they did get physical at the end. John Cena went for a cheap shot. One Crossroads knocked out John Cena.
I saw some people being confused by that. Like, wow, I can't believe one Crossroads took out Cena. This heel Cena looks weak. Brother, Cena's been weak for like years. There has not been this aura of Super Cena where Cena overcomes the odds. The reason why this heel Cena is dangerous is not because he can overcome the odds. It's now that he's now opened the Pandora's box to use cheap tactics to win. He doesn't shy away from taking advantage of heel-like situations like he did with CM Punk. That's what makes Cena dangerous, this heel Cena, his association with The Rock, Travis Scott. But in no world should anybody be going into this match thinking that Cena's got the physical advantage. He's the dude that never wrestles anymore versus the champion that's there day in, day out. Cody Rhodes is the one that needs to be looking physically strong. And that's why I'm glad that Cody was able to stand tall here, because I do want Cena to rely on the cheap tactics. I do want Cena to recognize that he is outmatched and outclassed physically by the champion in today's modern era.
Where I have to give John Cena a negative point and give Cody a point is that Cody pressed him about The Rock and he still avoided answering the question directly, because he was like, his why is the mediocrity thing that we've been talking about, but he never really said why sided with The Rock. Why couldn't you do that by yourself? You needed to sell your soul. And it could be that the WWE put too many chefs in the kitchen, because we could have got where we are without The Rock, to be honest with you. Like, did we really need The Rock to get where we are? Truthfully, though,
we could have gotten to where we are with a lot less story pieces, right? Because now we're all wondering, well, what about this part? What about that? What about this character? Which it might be for the good, might be for the detriment of this feud, but something tells me that we're not going to get the explanation until Cena wins. That's where I bet the explanation comes to us. If Cena wins at WrestleMania, Raw after WrestleMania, we get the proper explanation of what's going on with John Cena and The Rock. Because at the very least, from an advertising perspective, Sancho, John Cena is not advertised for the rest of the road to WrestleMania. We could get an unadvertised moment. Like, for example, we had The Rock on that episode of Monday Night Raw where he was not advertised and it ended up leading to the Mama Rhodes beatdown in the rain. That'd be kind of cool if we got a moment like that with John Cena beating down Cody Rhodes. That would certainly help. But again, these are all things that don't require The Rock to help continue to build this storyline and feud. So to answer your question, could we have gotten here in a simpler, point A to point B without so many winding roads and in question marks? Yeah, we definitely could have. But I do think that those question marks will be must-watch TV when they eventually actually get answered.
So just to go back to The Rock and Cena, their promos are so interesting because this is the kind of things that John Cena would say. He says, for the first time in the illustrious career of The Rock, he was shook up. I mean, damn, was he shook. He came down to the ring and wasted 20 minutes on his stupid hashtag Twitter thing. And then I came out, and after I left, he was stumbling on his words like he left in the middle of winter. Dwayne, Rock's the same person. He wasn't sounding like The Rock. He was sounding like Rain Man. I mean, Michael Jordan on the mic, the Babe Ruth, the game, the great one, the untouchable Dwayne Johnson shook. But who could have done it? Who was the man with the smoking gun in his hand? It sounds unbelievable, but The Rock got shook up by a prep school thug with no balls that dresses like a Wonder Woman. And then he says, very, very dated term for wrestling. But then The Rock comes in and says, don't you think that The Rock's not going to come in the middle of this ring here in the TD Garden with the history that The Rock has in the city and not say one more time, finally, The Rock has come back to Boston? Catchphrasey, which The Rock does like to lean on, right?
Mm-hmm.
He says, I was going to look you in the eye and I was going to tell you the world what I see. Fear when I'm taking everything away. Fear that everything you worked hard for in these last 10 years, when I beat your ass at WrestleMania, it all goes away. And I see fear in your eyes, John, that The Rock hears the fear and doubts in your words. I see right through you. I see right through you. You shook my confidence. Look at me. You think you shook The Rock's confidence? I know when John Cena says, I know we're really close to Massachusetts, but you're all chanting the Tooth Fairy, right? Because the crowd's chanting the Tooth Fairy. John The Rock, because you understand something about me, John. I understand this. You strip away WrestleMania. You remember this moment. You strip away the glitz, the glamour, the lights. You strip away Hollywood, the movies, the fame. You strip away all the catchphrases. You strip away the trending worldwide. You strip it away and look at me. You don't look away. You strip that all away. If we do, at The Rock's core, what do you got? At The Rock's core, you have a 6'4", 260-pound of a man that will rip your throat out, and at your core will always be the little boy who will always go down in history as The Rock's bitch, which is interesting, because he did solely sold to The Rock. But I want to point out that there's a difference of promos, right? That one felt like these two dudes actually maybe legitimately hate each other, but they were trying to outdo each other in a machismo, masculine way. Whereas John Cena and Cody Rhodes are kind of doing it in a very like an Assassin's Creed type of way. Like they're just trying to stick it in. They're not really trying to bury each other completely. They're just trying to bleed each other with 1,000 cuts. Whereas The Rock, and I feel like Rock and Cena were just haymakering each other to death. And they were just hoping one would crumble and none of them back down. And there were so many times when The Rock would leave the ring pissed, and John Cena would just sit there like, I guess he's mad at me type of vibe. You know what I mean? Like that's it's a different kind of aura between that matchup and this matchup.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, I was never expecting Cody Rhodes to get buried like so many people were, that WWE was protecting Cody Rhodes. I never bought into that narrative. I did think that they were more than anything just trying to hold off on it because we wanted to see the conversation between the two. I felt like that was the reason why they kept pushing it off. I never thought it was because Cody couldn't hang with Cena. We've seen Cody hang with Kevin Owens, with Drew McIntyre, with CM Punk, all guys that we would agree are probably better on the microphone than Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes is right there with him. I never expected John Cena to kill him and leave him for dead like he did with Solo Sikoa, or rest in peace Austin Theory.
Oh, I love that what he said to Solo. He's like, Solo goes, "Do you realize who you're in the ring with? We've been waiting for you to talk for over a year, and that's what you bring to the table? Oh, I'm going to do this with half a voice, and it's only going to take me 90 seconds to cook you. I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to say goodbye, but I'm not going to say goodbye to them. I'm saying goodbye for them. We all know for the reason you got here to the job because of your cousin."
Nasty.
We all see you, homie, walking around thinking you're the same big badass enforcer when you're nothing but a bargain basement Taz ripoff. So do me a solid, Solo, tape your thumb up extra tight because the only place it's going to suck tomorrow is straight up your ass. Yeah, that's about 90 seconds.
Nasty. That's getting buried. That's getting buried.
That is the John Cena we know. But what's interesting as well is when John Cena does that to everybody, it means he gets destroyed in the match. And I think because they're kind of even, they're going blow for blow. I think this match is going to be a lot even. And I do kind of predict here, dude, when the lights are on, it's WrestleMania in Vegas in Allegiant Stadium. And when you see John Cena, he's going to have his Hulk Hogan moment. He's going to turn that crowd. This is going to be, look at you. You're tearing up already thinking about it.
I know
right?
That's going to happen. Dude, nostalgia's going to take over. I know that's going to happen.
Right. It's going to happen when the crowd feels that John is turning it on. And this is it's a couple things. Don't cry on me, okay? Because it's going to get me emotional thinking about it. Look, it's a couple things. The crowd's going to slowly realize in Vegas that this is John Cena's last Mania. That they're watching history. That this is the last time that John Cena is going to go around the ring, right? And this is the opportunity that maybe he wins, right? You can feel, oh my God, he's going to win and break the record. Oh, John is doing it. Cody's not giving up. He's not going to do it. But John is finally hitting his last. He's going to do his AA and then pick him up again. You're like, oh.
People will lose their minds, man. People will lose their minds. I'm telling you, that power of nostalgia will turn people real quick when they start getting the rose-tinted glasses. It's called graduation goggles. You know what that is, Sancho?
No.
Graduation goggles is when you all of a sudden, and this I know for a fact happened to me in both university and college. Right before you graduate, all of a sudden you want to be friends with everybody. All of a sudden you start remembering all of the good moments with people that you didn't really care about. All of a sudden you are starting to feel sad that you are losing the time that you are having here. All of a sudden you are sad to move on, and you're trying to enjoy the last few moments left of that aspect of your life. Graduation goggles will happen in the John Cena retirement tour. It might be easy to boo him, might be easy to chant John Cena sucks, but when you're seeing the guy in action and you realize this might be the last time that you see him in action, graduation goggles are going to take over and you're going to start cheering for Cena. I know it's going to happen. It's literally what drove the Hulk Hogan and The Rock match at WrestleMania 18. It's going to happen here. I know it.
And all it took Hogan was one shove and one Hulk up flex, and the crowd was immediately in Hogan's corner.
It's over. Dude, it flipped. The crowd entirely flipped. Now, I don't think that Cena's got that power.
No.
I think it might have to be with the 5 moves of doom or something super Cena-esque to really bring back that part of the brain that gets turned on, and you're like, oh damn, yeah, this is Cena. I think it's gonna take one of those moments.
I think, dude, John Cena kicks out of the triple crossroads.
Oh shit, that would be crazy. That would actually be so crazy. That might flip the stadium. That might flip the stadium.
And you're just like, oh my god, they're not going to do
Wade
it.
Barrett's going to be in commentary like, oh, not again.
He beat Roman Reigns with that move. That's what he's going to say, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's going to be a banger match, and I'm glad we finally got what we needed. It's been a big missing piece, and I think what's exciting to me as a wrestling fan is that Cody Rhodes stepped up to the plate, right?
Yeah,
he stepped up to the plate, and he made it a fight. It wasn't a railroad, and at the same time, a lot of people on various socials were like, well, Charlotte and Tiffany, and Charlotte's not going to, you think Charlotte's going to play ball? But I was like, no, I think John Cena is willing to play ball, and it just shows you that when someone can play ball and give a little, give a little back and forth, you get something special. I'm hoping that Charlotte allows Tiffy to get a little on her a little bit, or that match ain't going to go anywhere. But at least this one's fire.
Mm-hmm. Well, we are back stateside. We are done with the European crowds. And Sancho, you wanted to talk a little bit about the European crowds. I feel like you got beef with them or something. What's going on here?
Is this the same place? Is this the same place?
I'm not European. If you're about to bash the old continent, brother, I don't know. I don't want to speak for them. I don't want to speak for them.
I'm not. Look here. I'm a face here. Okay. I'm a nice guy here. Respectfully. Okay. When Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes were out there on Friday night, I'm going to ask questions. That's all I'm going to do here. Why were you chanting RKO? Did it make any sense for them to chant RKO while Randy is glazing Cody in front of everybody? They just start chanting RKO. And you could tell Randy was getting kind of peeved because Randy can't hide his emotion. He's a bad poker player. When he's trying to cut his promo, and then all of a sudden, Cody Rhodes, he's like, oh, guys, I gotta wrap this up. Now, their love for wrestling during the matches is great. I understand you don't get wrestling all the time. I get it. For the folks sitting at home, we want to hear the wrestlers say what they want to say. So maybe just space it out a little bit, all right? Let Cody get through a good chunk of his promo. You notice John Cena and Cody Rhodes, they wanted to hear what they were going to say, but they didn't let that crowd take over that promo. Unlike Randy and Cody, the crowd took over that promo, and it took it could have been an 8-minute segment drawn out to 15, which is a long time in wrestling. So I'm saying during the promos, we could shorten the football chants a little bit, okay?
Can I fire back a question at your end? Right?
Yes, sir.
You gave
Santi, wrestling is cool.
You gave the example of John Cena and Cody Rhodes preventing those chants from happening. So if the champs were able to take over the promo, who's at fault? The wrestlers or the crowd? Because the crowd, brother, they paid and they can chant whatever they want. And it is up to the performers to dictate and give direction as to where the crowds should be chanting. I am a firm believer that crowds should be able to chant whenever, whatever they want. If the wrestler in that moment doesn't want them to chant, then you need to be able to work the crowd so that they do not chant it. So I present you the question: who is at fault in that RKO Cody Rhodes segment? With the crowd taking over.
I think it's the WWE's fault, Your Honor. All right, the WWE's fault because they misunderstood that Randy's out there to give a personal glazing. Right, he's giving out that very intimate type of, hey man, let me just talk to you. How awesome it is to see you be successful. Let's give it up for Cody. That type of vibe. He's a face. They're a face. You can't really tell the crowd to shut up. You could do it in a nice way. You'd be like, hey guys, he did kind of say like, I got something important to say here, kind of, sort of. But in that situation, the WWE should have took that promo and put it backstage because they had plenty of promos backstage in the locker room. And I think that promo would have hit harder for Randy to go to Cody in the locker room and be like, hey, man, I just wanted to tell you that's awesome to see where you're at. And it would have been a nice 2 minute and a half segment. Yes, you could pay. I understand it. But I'm just saying a little goes a long way. And I feel like the WWE is the one at fault here because they're milking the European crowd.
I agree.
And y'all didn't understand you're being milked. I saw someone in our Patreon who commented that said that in Glasgow, their nosebleeds were 150 pounds.
Brutal, gouging.
And they realized that you could help with the crowd and put things over. and then all that kind of fun stuff. And don't get me wrong, fun and exciting. But if you're going to have that energy for the top of the card, you're going to sing the songs at the top of the card, why not spend some of that energy for the mid card? Why not give a little bit more love to the lower card, okay? There's plenty of times where you sat on your hands during the Street Profits. Just because their new song, Zelina Vega, comes out, you can't cheer for her when you see it, Zelina Vega? You can't cheer for the Street Profits when you see them? Just give a little bit more love to the rest of the card, okay? Like, you know who? Puerto Rico, my friend, Puerto Rico.
That's one of the most well-rounded crowds that I've ever seen in Puerto Rico.
Now, I love my over the seas people. I love it, but you guys got to call yourself out on that Randy and RKO. That's when it was the most egregious. That's when I was like, oh, wait a minute. Something not right.
But
here.
if the performer is letting it happen, I don't know how you can blame an entire group of people in this situation. Sure, I don't see it. Like if they want to chant something and they chant it and the performers do not appropriately stomp it out, then that's what's just gonna happen. It's a European crowd. They're loud. If you don't like, you literally gave the example of Cena and Cody Rhodes being able to stomp it out. Why couldn't Cody and Randy?
They wanted to hear what Cody and
interesting.
Cena wanted to say.
So what makes the Randy and Cody promo not something that they want to hear?
They wanted to sing with Randy, and they did, right? They sang their song, and then they got carried away. They're like, oh, what other chants do we know for Randy Orton? Oh, I know, RKO. Let's chant that. Come on, man. You can't. I understand.
I disagree. I disagree 1,000,000%. Yeah,
you're the businessman here. I'm simply just saying.
You know where you lost me? Where you said, "Come on, guys. We at home, we want to watch it." Yeah, we at home paying $20 a month on Netflix versus poor little Seamus O'Neill over, in the nosebleeds in Glasgow, who just sold his PlayStation 5 to be able to go see his favorite wrestler and sing RKO because WWE is gouging them with the most incredible, unfair prices that I've ever seen for anything in my life. Let them sing whatever they want.
Not the only person here on the stateside that we're just saying that's a little too much, my friend. Now you could say the United States.
Go back and chant your what? Go back and be boring. Go back. You say that that the Europeans, they don't bring the same energy for the mid card, brother. You guys don't bring any energy for anybody or anything over stateside, depending on what city you're in.
Toronto's overrated.
We're the same problem. I'm putting myself. I'm being Cody Rhodes right now. Oh, what are you gonna make fun of my boots? Are you gonna make fun of my maple syrups? Are you gonna make fun of my I'm the 51st state? I'm taking that all of the table from you. All right, you don't get to make fun of that. We Canadian crowds, we're just as ass. We're gonna miss those European blokes so much once we're back here stateside, when we're in the middle of Arkansas. It's pronounced Arkansas, by the way. Arkansas is how it should be pronounced. And they just chant what and make no noise for nobody. You're gonna miss these guys.
Yeah, because we want to listen to what the promos have to say, all right? And first off, I'm not over there glazing Drake when he's like one row away from me. What, do you like that, Drake? Oh,
you like that? Yeah, I'm sorry that the famous near billionaire recognized me. He's like, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry I got clout, Sancho. What do you think? I'm going to be ashamed of it? Because I met Drake and I'm basically best friends with him? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Back to the point that I'm trying to say, my friend, is that after a week or two of the European crowds, of getting I love the in-ring European crowds. I love the hype. I love the songs, the cleverness of basically doing.
Nothing that comes before "but" matters. Go ahead, say your "but."
I'm doing a compliment sandwich, okay?
But
this is the middle of the meat, all right? But
there it is.
Chill out during the promos.
You hate Europeans. Yeah, you just said it. You said it. You hate Europeans. My European friends, you can go ahead and subscribe to me. I love you guys.
Barcelona, awesome. Belgium, awesome. Belgium just did a great job bringing home John Cena Hill. Am I wrong? Huh?
Mm-hmm. Are you tier ranking your favorite European countries? Okay, which one's your least favorite? Yes. Go ahead. Least favorite European country. London. Ooh, do you know how many English, British, UK patrons we have?
They were the best.
They pay in pounds, brother. They pay in pounds.
Monday Night Raw patrons of the London were great. Monday Night Raw, great. Worst crowd of the European Friday night.
Patrons, I just want to reiterate that the views of Sancho do not represent the views of Santi. You know, please continue to support, at the very least, me. You know, I'll make sure that anything that is paid in pounds, anything that is paid in pounds will not go to Sancho at all.
I speak for the trees. I'm the Lorax. All right. Other people in the other various realms say the same thing I do. It could be a little much. That's all.
Sancho, do you know what day this usually publishes for the patrons?
Immediately.
No, what day? What day? What day usually? Day of the week. Say it.
On Tuesday.
On Tuesday, ain't it? Sorry, I just wanted to. We're talking about British folks.
I think that is much more offensive than me saying, "Hey, keep it down a little bit, brother." During these promos, this is like the meat of wrestling right here, or for the WWE. This is the juice of it. And when I just hear a random RKO chant out of nowhere,
hey, if Randy doesn't want it, then Randy should say something. That's all.
Randy did literally go.
Hey, did they run out of time? Did the show end at 3 hours? They're good. They're fine.
It had a run over. Remember? Like, I don't want to have the front end of RKO chants. I'd rather have the CM Punk contract signing go off without a hitch. That felt rushed compared to the Cody and Randy sitting in the middle of the ring. Don't act like don't. You know what? You just love the people. All right.
I am a man of the people.
You are the man of the people. You want to be out there and shaking hands and kissing babies, not only on this side of the pond, on the other side of the pond.
Meanwhile, getting terrible diseases in the process. I need to stop shaking hands when I go to events.
Fist pound.
Yeah,
always fist pound.
Yeah.
Fist pound, hand sanitizer. Bam. Thanks. You need to put it like a little holster belt.
Like a little Walker Texas Ranger. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you can be like, if you say, please don't cough near me. No, but yeah, man. Just saying. I'd rather get more of the contract signing of CM Punk, Roman, and Seth than the chanting randomly of RKO.
Okay. All right. Sancho hates Europeans.
That's so funny. You emphasize peons so hard there.
What are you talking about? I said it for Europeans. What's wrong with that?
It's like you're insulting Europeans.
Wow, that sounds wrong when you say it. When I say it, it's cool. When you say it, it sounds insulting.
It's Europeans. It's really
that's what I said. Europeans.
You are stretching out Euro so hard. Europeans. No, that's insulting, brother.
All right. Whoa. Okay, let me try one more time. You're a bitch, Sancho. Let's talk about the contract.
Oh, that's right. You tell him, Santi. I know you tell him, mate.
Santi, drink from a bowl of water and celebrate.
No, Santi. No, you're supposed to.
I'm with them. I can laugh with them because I'm one of them. I'm on their side. Some tuna.
Like a little bit cheeky Nando's, eh?
Let's talk about that contract signing. CM Punk, Roman Reigns, who was serenaded by that awesome London crowd. What did you say?
Our comment section are just going to be
like contract signing.
One, you know what I mean?
Roman, Punk, and Seth. I'll kind of let you take the lead here. What did you think of our contract signing, the favor, CM Punk's emotional moment with finding out that he's going to be in the main event of WrestleMania, before we talk about what the favor might be?
I like that we're getting like clear lines between the three characters. Like Roman Reigns is back to his old school Roman, the tribal chief type of like hamming it up, acting like he is in charge of everything. He's sitting at the head of the table again. Like that's the Roman that I like because it's jovial, right? Yeah. He's a fun guy. I like
he's a good dude.
Yeah, because when he turns it on and he's like very serious, it's going to be a jarring juxtaposition, and I absolutely love that. I love the crash out of Seth Rollins. It's justified.
Great.
I still think,
awesome.
Great crash out. I still think that it shouldn't be. It's like we're wasting. Like we're just going all in so quickly when we could have had all these individual moments with each kind of these pairings. Like we could have had milked this entire grouping for like 5 years almost. But now we're going to get it all in one WrestleMania. Don't you feel like that's unfair? Like, wouldn't you want a crash out from CM Punk and Seth Rollins where Paul Heyman comes in and is like, hey, man, I got you the main event, and it's going to be CM Punk versus Seth Rollins? Like, that'd be interesting and fun. Roman Reigns and CM Punk having the wise men kind of tit for tat going back and forth. And then you have, of course, Roman and Seth Rollins, where they have that long history that they got into. And he's like, what are you talking about? We? You always talking about we, mission accomplished, we. But this entire time, it's been me, said Roman. Me, I'm the one that's been doing everything. You just been on my coattails type of vibe. So I just feel like
died a long time ago.
Meanwhile, John Moxley is still alive. like
get impaled, by the way.
But it just proves to me that's like I just wish we didn't get it all at once. You ever had a Christmas day where you got like more than one or two really kick-ass things? You're like, ooh. You gotta divide your day.
You're like, oh man, birthday's gonna be dry, brother. They're not getting me something good for my birthday.
Exactly, dude. It's like you got Mario Kart 64 and GoldenEye 64, two bangers. You can't spend the whole day on them. You gotta have to pick the time.
I see what you mean.
That's what I'm at right here, man. It's just like we got a lot for a little, and at the same time, I do feel like they're stretching out the CM Punk favor just a hair, because clear as day, it's bothering Roman. Clear as day,
Triple H stretching out a story plot for an unnecessary amount of time. What?
Just like the little font on his trunks, Triple H.
Yes, you'll know if you watch the Match Club.
You know, but yeah, that's what I feel like about this entire contract signing. I love that it wasn't Raw. I love that it was.
Agreed.
They snuck in the little emotion in there with CM Punk, like you mentioned, and I just love it when you see really good vulnerability from talent. Naomi did it, CM Punk did it, and I wonder if it's true that CM Punk may or may not known, but I think he did know, because the way you could tell when someone is still acting. I always got flack when I was in college, when I was overdoing it just a hair. Like, you don't look through make toast that way. You're overdoing it, right? Just make the damn toast. Nothing that complicated. So when CM Punk's thumbing through the contract,
how are you making the toast? Were you?
Oh my god! I hate. No, it's like if you were just purposely, I hate doing this for you. I'm not miming this entire thing. The point I want to make is that you could tell that CM Punk knew what was coming, because he was thumbing through that contract pretty hammy. He's kind of looking. He was playing it up so the people could understand. From the back of the rafters up there in the seats, the nosebleed, they could see that he's concerned about something in the contract. And you could tell as well that they ran out of time, because Roman didn't let that moment breathe a little. He kind of jumped right on the whole moment. And he's like, what are you looking at, Junior? That's all the clauses there. Because they were running out of time because of the RKO chance, mate.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I know that you're using every opportunity you can to bash my beautiful English brothers. So I'm going to ignore that a little bit. You know what I liked about this segment, though? I liked the, it was like three different emotions being expelled by all three guys. You have Roman being all jovial. You have CM Punk crying, and then Seth Rollins losing his mind. It was just, it was cool seeing all three of these guys react so differently to the news of CM Punk getting the main event of WrestleMania. That to me just kind of showed their range, honestly, as actors. You maybe like notice some things a bit more. I kind of liked how all three of them were reacting to the moment differently. I also really believe that something like that, when you see the same news being interpreted differently by three parties, just goes to show that this is the type of match, the type of feud that the good guy and the bad guy is all in the interpretation of whoever is watching the match. Whoever, you resonate with, you get to pick who in this story is the bad guy and who in this story is the good guy. Just like how it is in this actual story between these three guys, because CM Punk is the hero to many. For Seth Rollins, he's like the worst thing that could have happened. I don't know, since Thanos returning and killing all the Avengers or whatever, right? So I like seeing the difference of interpretation to the news, because I think it's really reflective as to how fans are going to interpret who's the good guy, who's the bad guy in this feud.
Do you think they finally pull the trigger on CM Punk here? They've been teasing it for so long. And I feel like they have, because he's like, I want to main event Mania. I want to main event Mania. I'm going to through it through Royal Rumble. I don't do it. I'm going to through it through Chamber. I don't do it. Isn't it now? Doesn't it feel like now is the time to pull? He has so many cards up his sleeve and he in play that this is the time that he would finally get his opportunity to push the ball forward for him in this entire WWE company and this run this time.
You would think so. I think it's really dependent on what the favor is. You know, if the favor is something groundbreaking, like getting added to the Night 2 main event, which a lot of people are predicting, or just a future #1 contendership or whatever it might be, I think that puts CM Punk in the front seat to win this match, because of his history with John Cena and Cody Rhodes that has unfolded recently at Elimination Chamber with Cena, the promo right before the Royal Rumble with Cody Rhodes, and I mostly am expecting this match to end in a way where CM Punk wins, because Roman and Seth hate each other so much that they cost each other the match and they prevent each other from being able to win, and somehow CM Punk is able to see business. As he says, right? This is business. This isn't personal for me. Maybe it is the fact that he focuses on the business aspect and not allowing it to get personal that allows him to pick up the victory.
When did favors become so strong? I've done a favor for somebody.
Yeah,
but
you're
I've never,
nobody.
like,
You're a little nobody that no one cares about, you little bitch. Okay, what if Obama owed you a favor? That'd be a lot more important than you owing me a favor. Right? It's all about who the favor is being owed by. Sancho, West, who cares? You know?
Paul Heyman, though? You think Paul Heyman has power?
In the WWE, that's always been interpreted that Paul Heyman can make moves, man.
What's the last move that Paul Heyman made that had power?
Authorize, whatever the hell that meant. Within the WWE, I mean, he's always had the ear of the general manager. When we always had the bloodline in there, it was always like, no, Roman doesn't have to do this. No, we're not going to have this match. No, we are going to have this match. He was always basically dictating what matches the bloodline would or would not have.
Okay. But he got stripped of that power by Solo Sikoa. You think he's returned to form in some way? Like, I need more segments to show his power is still around. Does that make sense? Like,
but you don't even know what the favor is. That's the thing. If we're assuming
it involves Paul Heyman.
Yeah, but if the favor is something groundbreaking, then you would want to see the exertion of power that Heyman still has it. But if the favor is something like you'll come out with Punk instead of coming out with Roman, you don't need perceived power to just be able to deliver that favor.
Yeah, but it's getting built up though to that level. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is where we in the internet community, you and I, this is where we trip ourselves up all the time.
I think you're tripping yourself up here.
No, slow down. The more the WWE talks about something, the mystery partner, the mystery guest, the stipulation, bloodline rules, we just keep going, oh, it's going to be bigger than it is, right? Bigger than it is. So you're saying on the low end, it's just come out with me being my corner at Mania.
That's the low end, yeah.
We talked about this last week. High-end match against Cena Night 2 with Cody, right? Triple threat, which would be insane because they'd be like, good Lord, another triple threat. And then the middle of the road is this winner is #1 contender for Cody at SummerSlam. Because that will keep CM Punk a face to say that that's the favor that he's going to get. But that doesn't seem like a very CM Punk, I need a favor to gain an advantage type of situation. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I just don't like the way that the WWE is kind of like putting all their eggs in this, which eggs are expensive, in this proverbial favor basket. It seems like it's the crux of this entire feud of the triple threat when it shouldn't be. Does that make sense?
I agree.
Yeah, the focus shouldn't be like what does CM Punk's favorite. It should be these guys are going to kill each other in the ring. That's what I want from this triple threat, and them looming this favor over our heads is making us blind to what this triple threat should be. That these guys genuinely hate each other. Granted, Roman doesn't seem to feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
He does to Seth, but it's interesting that the strangest part of the contract signing is that he asks for CM Punk to acknowledge him. And CM Punk did acknowledge him for a second, but I felt that entire part with CM Punk was he's being super sarcastic. And he's kind of massaging Roman Reigns to kind of like blind him for whatever's going to happen at Mania.
For whatever the favor is.
Are you in the camp, or do you acknowledge the camp that because this is not for a title, that the women's title of Rhea, Io, and Bianca should be considered, and not even that, Jay and Gunther, not even main eventing this WrestleMania Night 1.
I'm so glad you brought this up. I was going to bring this up. Let me shoot that down.
Well, whoa.
No, not shooting you down. I'm shooting down the camp. I'm going to shoot down the... he says he's got a gun. Improv.
Jeez.
The camp that says that CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns should not be main eventing WrestleMania Night 1 because there is no stakes, because there is no title, are just fundamentally wrong. Here's the thing. I'm not saying that the women's triple threat match, or now Gunther and Jay, based on what they've done, doesn't deserve the Night 1 main event. Scratch that. I still don't think that Jay and Gunther deserve the Night 1 main event, but they did a great job at elevating that feud. Let's just purely talk about the women. That's not me saying that I don't think the women deserve the Night 1 main event. I'm simply saying that we are lucky enough that we live in a world where we can talk about multiple matches fighting for the main event spot. That just means we're the winners. But to just simply say that a match should not get the main event spot of Night 1 or Night 2, really, for that matter, simply because no title is on the line, is just wrong, not in the moment right now, but just historically as well. Main event of WrestleMania 38, nothing at stake. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens. What were the stakes? Absolutely none. Main event
it was Kevin Owens saying he hated Texas like 2 weeks prior.
Exactly. Main event of WrestleMania 28, John Cena and The Rock. That was just the biggest star power around. That main evented. You want a bad story, but the star power was still strong enough. Roman Reigns and The Undertaker. WrestleMania 33 was the main event of that WrestleMania. In fact, Sancho, there are situations, there are scenarios where if you don't put the match that has the most star power in the main event simply because it doesn't have the title, it kills the rest of the WrestleMania. WrestleMania 18, one of the best examples. Everything that went on after Rock and Hogan didn't mean jack shit because the crowd was already spent, because that was the biggest match with the biggest star power, with the biggest draw that was going to generate the most reaction out of everybody. WrestleMania 25, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, that didn't main event. And what happened after the main event? No one made any noise. What happened after Shawn and Taker? No one made any noise because they were spent. I promise you, if they put the women's main event or Jay Gunther in the closing of Night 1 and they put this in the middle of Night 1, crowd's going to be spent. They're not going to make any noise for it. In this situation, it is unfortunate for the women that they have to compete with Roman, Seth, and Punk. That is a rare situation because 9 out of 10 times the women should be main eventing. But this is one of the 1 in 10 times where it is a way too much star power to not put that in the Night 1 main event, stakes or no stakes.
It's just a bummer that the women's title, the triple threat, is being built so in a weird, illogical way, and it doesn't make sense for them. And I feel that the women are doing such a great job with that build. And even though Rhea's being shown in a strange light, and Bianca and Io are having some, like, particularly Bianca is like almost having heel moments throughout this build, I still think they're doing a great job. And that the Monday Night Raw that we just saw would seem Bianca as a special guest, by far top 10 special guest referee attire, like the entire aura of Bianca Belair. She oiled up and you haven't yet. Let's not forget that, sir. And then Io looking amazing in terms of a ring worker and doing her job, and then Rhea being the megastar that she is. But it's a bummer that the women are just not given the same kind of good source. You know, we should be able to give them more juice to be able to have a stronger conversation about, hey man, they should main event because their work in the ring has been fire. But the issue is that the same kind of promos and the back and forth is not the same as Punk, Roman, and Seth, because I mean they have historically so much deeper history to pull from. So what I'm trying to say is, if it was Rhea Ripley versus Bianca, and they were able to build up that match in a simpler way, I think that one would have a stronger case to main event than Roman, Cody, Roman, and Seth and CM Punk. It's just because the triple threat build is just so complicated for the women, because eventually that's where we're going to get there. But it made no sense for Rhea to sign her name on the contract. It made no sense for her to get upset that she wasn't in Mania and then have these situations where they have the title change, which is proving that sometimes a title change right before Mania doesn't help the feud, because now it just complicated it just a hair. I just feel like we're a clouded build for this women, and that's why we're having this. Well, of course, the men should, or the CM Punk trio should main event versus Rhea, Bianca, and Io. This is not that you're comparing apples to oranges in the way they have that build.
Yeah. If you want to have a different conversation about whether the women should be given different, better material, there's a conversation to be had about that. The conversation that's happening right now is like just keep it to the real world, not these hypotheticals of like what could have been with the women, what they could have done, what they could be doing with this, what they could be doing with that. Let's just purely talk about what has been done, and what has been done with the stories and the feuds that we have right now. I 100% stick by Roman, Seth, and Punk being the night one main event.
Well, we gotta go back to the source. What happened when Rhea got hurt and Liv had the title? Nothing happened with the title, so it couldn't get built up even further, right? There's no way they could have gone any further without, because everything was on ice. And then when Rhea came back, it was still back to Rhea and Liv and Dom, and that was just holding down the entire title. Meanwhile, over on the other side, Bayley wasn't really doing really much after her having the title, so you had everything on ice for the women for a long time, because everyone just went to Rhea and Liv and Dom, which was fine because we had a great time in that SummerSlam heel turn was amazing. But we already said here in the Wrestling School podcast, if they gave Liv Zelina Vega, they gave other people some opportunities. They gave Liv actually some in-ring, which Liv has survived that on her own, and that's why she's having a great 2025 without any kind of matches, and now even though she's Raquel, she's still thriving. I'm just saying, like, that, like, people like to look at it that it's a WrestleMania build problem, but it's been a build that's been happening year or two prior. If you look at WrestleMania 39, without WrestleMania 39's build to here, Cody and Cena will not hit as hard.
Fair points. Yeah, they've done a much better job at maintaining the integrity of long-term storytelling for the men than they have for the women. 100%.
You can't forget Bianca's been on ice too. Bianca and Jade, they did the tag team title, so that's why there's people who are like, why is Bianca is not the same? It's us, the people that remember Bianca before when she was a single superstar, main eventing WrestleMania with Sasha Banks and all that kind of fun. We remember that Bianca, so that when they insert this Bianca into this one, winning the Elimination Chamber, it's not the same, because Bianca's been dealing with all that kind of stuff. And I'm surprised they didn't bring back Naomi for this moment either. So it's like, that's what I mean. It's like they have so much subject material to work with that they just tend to do something simpler. And I was like, well, it would have been much more interesting to see Naomi getting involved, stopping Bianca from doing the 3 count properly, versus Bianca calling a no DQ because she's getting beat up by both of the women, so she just calls the whole match off.
All accidents, by the way. All accidents.
Right. So it's like, I've never seen a special guest referee do that. I mean, I've never seen a special guest referee just go like, you know what, I'm fed up with this. What I have seen is a special guest referee get involved and get physical with everybody and like hit a move herself and then go, what now? Let's go ahead and have this out. Go ahead and pin somebody. We're going to have a thing rather than let's throw the whole thing off. So that's all I'm saying. Like, I like the way I thank you for pivoting this conversation to actually grounding this real conversation between the women's build and the men's build. So that's where we at here, man. And I think that I will continue to have this flag about the entire thing that the women do great things with less.
I got clowned on a lot in the comments because I said that they're turning the Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Bianca Belair, that they're over analyzing it and they're trying too hard, and they went from just being logical to being completely illogical and putting themselves in an illogical situation. And I felt like that match proved me right, because we just got an illogical outcome with a special guest referee calling a double DQ, that which makes no sense because she wasn't attacked purposely. That's when you would call a DQ, right? That's what you would do. Sure, you could try and retcon it and say that Bianca just doesn't have experience as a referee, but then why put her again in that situation to be a referee? I said this last week and I'll say it again. In their attempt to be logical, trying to find a real reason as to why why Rhea gets added to this match, they have now put themselves in the ridiculous, in the illogical. And I'm down for it. It was still fun. It was chaotic, but it is trying a little bit too hard when it should just be as simple as, I'm Io Sky, I'm a badass, I'm a fighting champion, give me both of you, I want the smoke. Rhea Ripley looking like the bad guy because she manipulated Io, and Bianca Belair being pissed because she's losing her one-on-one opportunity. That it should have just been as simple as that. But people want to say, you know what they want to say, Santi? You know what the damn people want to say all the time? When you point out, that some things just aren't necessarily being done very well, they just want to say, let Papa H cook. And I hate that term. You want to know why I hate that term so much? Because it protects bad TV. It protects bad ideas. And all it is you keep saying it. You keep eating and regurgitating the line of let Papa H cook until you eventually get something good and you get to say, see, you should have just let Papa H cook. You know what was a perfect example of it? Gunther and Jey Uso. Now people are saying, see, you should have let Papa H cook. False. Papa H was cooking a giant pile of shit. That is what he was cooking. And the fans and everyone was loud and vocal. And now we get something good. That is not, see, let Papa H cook. No, that is demand good TV and call out bad TV. Finally, what we have with Jey and Gunther is must-watch TV, and all it took was the murder of Jimmy, brother. The blood sacrifice of the Uso.
It bums me out so much because Jimbo went out there and went toe-to-toe with LA Knight, says, I want that United States Tag Team title. He said it. We said it with his whole chest, and I was like, perfect. Jimbo has something to do. The mid-card, sure. Why not get an Uso in there to be able to do something fun? And all of a sudden, he gets a ripcord right out of it to be able to help his brother Jey Uso, who was kind of in trouble, right? Especially after that botch, right? There was a pretty bad botch. And so they had to pull him out there to have Jey Uso to come to Jesus type of moment to be like, hey, man, you still got this. This Jey can't do it. This Jey can't beat Gunther. Like, he can't do that. But we all knew Gunther was going to kill Jimbo, right? At some point. We all knew the receipt was coming. And I didn't think it'd be that receipt. Granted, it was a fun way to do it. And I love the idea of Jey Uso. It's a good trope in wrestling, brother. Let me just murder your friend right in front of you. It's done so many times. I think the best one was, if you're going to guess the one, I'm going to say it in 1, 2, 3. You say the best one of murdering one another. So ready? 1, 2, 3.
Randy
Edge and Beth
Stephanie.
Phoenix.
Oh.
Okay.
Mine's better.
I mean, the porchetto to Beth Phoenix was kind of nutty.
Brother, Randy Orton punted Stephanie and then kissed her in the mouth as she's passed out as Triple H is handcuffed. You think that's...
I don't know. They're equal.
No way. They're equal.
You never know, dude. I don't know, dude. A porchetto, the same kind of thing, right? It was minus the kissing. I think the kissing takes over top. I think you got that there. God, Randy did that?
Yeah, bro. Dude, people in my chat were so funny. They're like, L segment, Gunther should have kissed Jimmy. Because
he licked his blood.
He did. I was like, yeah, he basically kind of did something like that.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, Gunther, slow it down. It's interesting. I would, in that moment, I wish that like real cops would have came out. Like that would have amplified that moment. Like, oh my God. Gunther did something so heinous that police officers were here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
You get the Bobby police officers with the
Yeah,
funny hats.
Yeah,
We got no guns here, so we just go around beating people with a stick.
dude, Hot Fuzz is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Good
but
movie.
I love the John Cena shirt had the little palace guard. Did you see that?
Yeah,
The John Cena.
Yeah. It's nice.
Not bad.
Listen, if you think that you're good at predicting wrestling and wrestling match outcomes, then you should definitely be going to MyBookie because you can actually bet on WrestleMania results over there. And MyBookie actually lets you make the ability to make your pick before the actual matches take place or sometimes during the actual matches as well. It's not just for sports betting as well. It's a full-fledged casino with all kinds of casino games. If you'd like to go check that out, you can on MyBookie. Now, if you are new to MyBookie, make sure that you sign up with my code Santi, you already know, so that you can get a deposit boost of up to $2,000. So don't settle for a second-rate book. Bet smarter, win bigger, only at MyBookie. Let's get you back into the video.
But going back to Jay and Gunther and Jimbo here, I guess.
Oh, dude, I thought you froze. I thought you disappeared.
No, I guess. I mean, sure. The only thing is, like, Gunther's been attacking from behind, so he's kind of still a Weasley heel, but he's much more dangerous, and he destroyed Jimbo with the belt. And I love that Jimbo kept coming back. Right, that was kind of a cool thing to see the big brother come back to help his little brother as much as he can. I mean, I guess Solo doesn't care. I guess Solo doesn't care about his family. I still think that our idea, it's such a egotistical, narcissist thing to say for our little podcast here, that our idea that all the family members dapping him up before going would have hit harder than seeing poor Jimbo bleeding in front of everybody around the world on Netflix. I was like, okay, I think this is what this felt like an Attitude Era, almost Attitude Era of Raw. It's just missing that main segment could have had an Attitude Era ending. I mean, honestly, now the more I think about it, I guess that it was an Attitude Era type of ending where, like, it kind of didn't make any sense, but okay, here we are. We're on the road to Mania.
That to me saved the feud. It didn't make
You're
it.
in?
Yeah, I'm in. Like, I actually came out of that being like, man, Gunther is a terrible person, and I'm rooting against him, and I want Jay to win because Jay, that is making somebody look like a sympathetic babyface. That is somebody I want to get behind. That is somebody that I want to see get his vengeance, not tripping and falling and looking like a goof.
What if it was Otis? Poor
Dumb,
Otis there bleeding.
Dumb, stupid.
It was poor Tozawa. Oh,
Done.
no.
Let him bleed out. Stupid.
So you're telling me you're in? Are you okay? What kind of in are you? Are you like are you chilling by the pool, or are you at the swim up bar, sitting on a stool drinking? Are you that?
I'm drinking.
Are you comfortable?
Drinking. Yeah, I'm comfortable. I've
Yeah.
sat down. I want to see now how this plays out. I will say, and maybe I'm exaggerating, and call me out if I'm exaggerating. It feels like Jay's promo on this upcoming episode of Monday Night Raw might be the most important promo of his career. Seeing how he reacts to this is vital to sell what just happened. Because if he goes out there and yeets and is wearing his dumbass glasses and is going through the crowd, that won't land.
Hold on, you can be like this. Gunther. What you did, Gunther?
Yeah,
that's my brother.
Yeah,
that's the crowd. That's the crowd. Dumb American crowd. Don't want to yeet. We don't know anything, but he's like, that's my brother, Oos.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope so. You're right. I mean, he has to nail it. He can't hide behind his glasses, to be honest with you. When he won that IC title, that was one of another moment, and he wanted to get there. I could tell he wanted to get there emotionally. He just couldn't get there until he took off the glasses. So if Jay wants to step up into the main event, he has to nail this promo, and he has to be able to do so. Oh, the Temu Yeet glasses. For those who don't know, Santi bought some Temu. You actually kept this one?
No, these are real. These are actually from the WWE Superstore. These are legit.
They don't look legit. Where's the big words that say yeet? Did they get the feedback that maybe they don't like words written on the
maybe you can't because you can't see.
anything. Oh, dude, I want the Yeet glasses though. If I was a fan, because first off, LA Knight does not wear glasses with the logo on them. It's like we're backwards.
Yeah.
You might, yours should have the Yeet and the other one.
I agree.
Shout out to LA Knight for holding down that Barcelona crowd. You talked about wrestlers controlling the crowd. He certainly did. Did he not?
Sure.
A megastar.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you asked how in am I? I'm in to the point where I want to hear Jay talk. I want to hear what this feels like. It should be a transformation of this character, you know? Like such a
no more eating?
Maybe not for this promo, right? Like such a traumatic thing just happened to him, right? That it almost feels like it should be a different character, a different voice, a different cadence style when he's talking to us. At least like for this upcoming promo.
Like mine, right? Or like mine, right? But you know what? What's Jay's best promo he has as singles? What do you think it's been? Braun Breaker.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Braun Breaker one. Yeah, I agree. Maybe we get something more like that. That'd be nice. But yeah, I mean, for this feud, it needs
to be short and sweet.
Yeah.
What if it was like a Roman Reigns one? You know, it's my yard now. What if he just, I'm gonna kill you? That's it. He's out.
Maybe. I still want the angle of the family members of the bloodline dapping him up.
Too good.
Yeah. I was like visualizing it, right? I was like, maybe Temu Bloodline, they don't tap him up. Yeah,
Sarah?
Babe, you understand. Babe, I've got this idea. No, what I was envisioning, man, I was like, yeah, like Temu Bloodline, they don't dap him up or hug him. They like, it's a head nod.
Yeah.
It's like a head nod. It's like, that's enough, you know? And you get more and more loving as like at the end, it's Jay in a full body cast. Hey, Oos.
It's like a Looney Tunes character. You're so stupid. Oh my god,
man! There's somebody in my chat that hates Jey Uso so much that he calls him the worst Royal Rumble winner since Alberto Del Rio. And
that's pretty. Someone has been reviewing. That's pretty bold.
It's bold, right? And he calls Jey Uso Jayberto Del Uso, which I think is such a. And I think today, what was it that he said? Jayberto Del Uso and his personal ring announcer, was it Jim Cardo Usdriguez or something?
Jeez. Actually, who I have right now in our Royal Rumble in review, which is an exclusive series on Patreon. I'm already in 2020 men's. I'm about to go to 2021. Who I have at like the last dead place right now. Would you like to take a guess who's my least favorite Royal Rumble winner?
I would guess it's the Alberto Del Rio win.
Because you have to remember, our good friend Santino was involved in that ending.
That was fun. The Cena Ryback ending was pretty bad.
It wasn't that bad because they were Ryback fans and they love Ryback.
Okay, what's your worst one? There's too many for me to guess. We spend the whole episode.
Roman Reigns 2015.
Oh, yeah, I should have guessed that right off the bat.
That was so bad because you could see where it was going. And you know why it was bad? Because who was the other two members in that ring alongside Roman Reigns?
Big Show and Corporate Kane, brother.
Corporate Kane and Big Show, who threw out Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler. They threw out all the Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
They threw out all the favorites, tag team together. And then when they decided it's time to throw out Roman, what do? They turned on each other.
So stupid. It's so bad.
And then who walked over and lifted them up as they were fighting near the ropes? Roman the Big Dog Reigns. By the way, love that line from CM Punk. My tribal chief. Big Dog. I thought actually Gunther was going to feed Jay dog food in that segment. I thought that was we were going. I was like, oh, okay. If dog food turned Roman into the OTC in the WWE's eyes, why not give Jay some dog food? Maybe that will help him find his new gear. But nah, they just killed Jimbo. Dexter style.
Well, there was enough blood for it to be Dexter style.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's move on to...
Supplies. Dude, that's what Damian's music did hit. I tell you, dude. Let's move to it right now. I know it's not that Damian Priest. Talk about being comfortable, dog. I'm cannonballing into this pool of Damian and Drew McIntyre. I am all in because you know why? Because he's undead Damian Priest, and we're gonna get eye patch Drew McIntyre, dog. You know what? If something sucks, just put some lipstick
Put an
on
eye
it, brother.
patch on it. That's Angaloa. Eye patch.
Eye patch. Make him look cool, and we're gonna get undead Damian, dude. Come on, man.
We're not getting undead Damian Priest. Stop politicking for this.
Oh, I'll put in my influence out, just like how we got Braun Strowman and LA Knight out there in the world. How we got, thank you, I'm Penta. We got it out there. We are gonna get undead Damian Priest because you know why? He has nowhere else to go. Nowhere else. If you get called Timu Taker, oh, you betcha, I'm gonna come out dressed like the Undertaker just to mess with you. What if Damian got an Undertaker entrance to mess with Drew McIntyre? Would you hate me? You would go,
I hate you. I would hate you so much because I know that I would have to hear about it for an hour on the next episode if we have that happen. I cannot.
And the best part is your crowd in your Twitch chat goes, Sancho was right.
I would hate it.
Come on, dude. That was a really cool beatdown, right?
It was awesome, dude. Yeah, shout out to R.I.P. the dude that owned the car. Got beat up for no reason.
I thought he said, "That's my mom's car."
Me mum. That's what they say. That's me mum's car.
That's what he said. I was like, "Oh, that's a good meme reference there." Oh yeah, man. It's interesting when I think the door, they were gonna throw the door off the hinges because he. Oh, by the way, Santi's a little tired little guy. He's been talking all day about wrestling. So when they opened the door and then the door closed itself, the spot was going to be where he was going to get shoved right through the door. But it closed. Mm-hmm. It's a bummer because we didn't get that, but we did get the real glass moment.
That was awesome. CM Punk walking by, just looking at Drew McIntyre, looking like friggin' Jade Cargill on the car right there, and clear as day reference to the All-In real glass incident, the famous London incident
in London as well. In London as well. Yeah, in London as well, in Wembley.
Yeah. But yeah, Drew McIntyre, the interview right before was so good. He's so funny. He's so jovial. And only to find undead Damian Priest spawning in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, that beatdown was great. One of the things that I'm saying is, now that I've reached the point,
an acolyte of undead.
No, I'm not an acolyte. I have reached the point of acceptance. I have reached the point of acceptance with the story. No, I'm not of undead Damian Priest. I have reached the point of acceptance with the Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre storyline. It's like, okay, this is what we're going to do.
And then the undead will all rise. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Come on, Santi. The undead will all rise. Wepa. Come on, dude.
Wepa.
Oh, dude. It's going to be a good time. You're right. This is one of those things like, if we can't get anything else and that we see when Drew interacts with Seth, and you're like, man, you belong there, man. That's where you should be playing, and you're still down here in the G League, But hey, it's gonna be a fun match. And when did they have a match? Where was it when Damian's foot got stuck?
Clash.
And that was when CM Punk came out, right?
As the ref. Yeah.
And so that match wasn't that bad. That match was pretty solid. I'm just hoping that the Damian delivers. It's in this kind of match, it's not on Drew to deliver. It's on Damian to deliver. And if Damian could deliver a solid match, bring out the Druids, maybe bring out a symbol.
No, there's no Druids, no freaking torches. There's no casket. What if this was a casket match?
I am going to laugh my head off. And people are going to be like, why are you laughing so hard? It's because Damian Priest is going out like Taker. And I think he would do it to mess with Drew McIntyre because he called him Timu Taker. So because he brought out that card, it's in play. We're in play, Santi. We're in business. You're playing blackjack. Boom, you see that card hit. Boom. Oh, we're in business, brother. I got a face card right here, and the dealer has a 7. I'm in business.
I don't like
Is
it.
that a good thing? I don't know. I just made it up. I don't know anything about blackjack. I'm the kind of guy that hits everything. I eat good cards. You know what I mean? Oh, I need to hit. Ooh, I'll stay.
Oh, you'd be infuriating to play blackjack with. I should go to a casino. It's been a while since I've gone in person. Let's talk IC title picture. We had Penta get speared. Dude, I was dying so hard laughing when Penta gets speared by Braun Breaker during their tag team match, their tag team partners, which allows Win Balor to finally pick up the win and pin Penta, the first time Penta's been pinned on WWE TV, which is kind of a big deal. And then backstage, brother, oh my goodness, as somebody that has parents that English is not their first language, it was like hearing my dad argue with somebody with his limited English. What are you? You stupid? You stupid?
I didn't see that. Was that in a commercial?
Oh, you didn't see that?
No.
Yeah, okay. Must have been during commercial. Let me pull up the exact clip because it's Penta going up to him. You stupid? My ribs! You stupid? What are you? I was like, oh man, Sancho's going to get a kick out of this. We're going to be quoting Penta. You missed the day.
Oh,
you stupid.
First time, it's like I used the VPN to watch Friday Night SmackDown. Right when it was on, but I don't use it for Monday night because I'm thinking,
dang, bro, you missed some Penta brain rot. You missed some good Penta brain rot. You stupid.
Not only that, it's like I'm gonna get the Europeans on me now. Now I get the VPNers on me, brother. Not gonna be a good day for Sancho Mania on Friday.
But yeah, we've got ourselves a little bit of turmoil. We got Penta and Braun Breaker. Finn Balor has a win. They were just kind of yelling. Braun didn't say anything that was memorable. I thought go to my Instagram when you get a chance. Find the clip. It's there. You stupid.
Someone told Penta to stop screaming like Tom in Tom and Jerry because I was hoping for that cell when you got hit with it. Someone must have told him like, "Hey, dude, chill down," because he hasn't sold it that much anymore. So, what do you think about it, man? I mean, Judgment Day. It's clear as day that Judgment Day is gonna get ready to stab Finn in the back at some point. Like they keep whispering too many. You know what I mean? You ever wonder that people talk about you when you leave a room? You know what I mean?
Hey, man, that's what happens. They're either wooing or booing.
That's what you say before you leave. But yeah, it's like it's so weird to me that Finn Balor doesn't watch the segments that he's in to see them being so mean. Kind of like how Bailey, you remember how Bailey was like figured out that hey, there's something afoot with damage control. I don't know. I feel like Finn Balor is just so blind and dumb. That's what I don't like about this version about Finn. He's just so corny and quirky about winning and listen to me. If you listen to Finn, you always win. All that kind of stuff. And then when he does win, he just shoves it in everyone's faces and he's just annoying about it. And everyone just goes like, "You're not cool anymore."
I wish. I'll say cool for God dang it, for Finn Balor. I swear I don't call him Finn Balor by accident or like on purpose. It's just I've been saying it so many times that now that's like Freudian slip. It's what comes out. I still wish this was just Penta Braun Breaker. I really do. I don't think that this, especially with how many multi-people matches we already have at WrestleMania, they could have done a great singles feud between Penta and Braun Breaker, and this could have been used as further catalyst to build this feud. It's looking like it is going to be a fatal four-way. You know, we have Liv Morgan rightfully, mentioning the fact like, hey, you never politic for yourself. Let me go do it for you. Let me go talk to Adam Pearce. Behind every great man, there's a great woman, Sancho. And it looks like we're going to be getting a fatal four-way here. I still wish it was a singles match.
Dog, you're saying that Dominic Mysterio could be the IC title holder at Mania?
I think there is a chance. Like, I think it could be such a crazy result, especially with the storyline of Finn Balor being like, see, if you listen to Finn, I'm going to win. I'm going to bring gold to the Judgment Day. Imagine if it's Dominic Mysterio.
That's where the third new member comes into play, brother.
The new member helps Dominic win. Ooh.
And it's Chavo Guerrero.
Mind. Oh. Oh, man.
Well, Oh, chavo. Do, do, do. Yeah,
Okay, I'm done now.
I think the idea of the multi-women matches, it just shows you that there's just so much talent. And I think the WWE doesn't want to leave anyone off. It's wild to me that I think the one that's going to be off this Mania card is Sami Zayn. But he'll make an appearance, but he's not going to be on the card, which is weird because he's coming off back-to-back banger Manias.
I agree. Back to back. That WrestleMania 38 with the Jackass match, man. Yeah, man. Sami Zayn's been a bit of an MVP at WrestleMania over the last several years. I will say,
would it be a problem to put him in the IC title? Sorry for cutting you off.
At this point, yeah, I think it'd be way too late. You know, there's things that they're trying to do way too late, and you can tell you guys are way too late in doing this with the stuff with Bailey and Lyra Valkyria and Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. What they're doing there, way too late. You know what's a big feud that's actually like they're doing it way too late? Logan and AJ. It feels like you guys aren't doing a great job of building this into a WrestleMania feud right now.
People in my chat were like thinking like, oh, is AJ gonna go, hey Logan, you ever been to Japan?
It's funny because we're all waiting for the one wrestler to bring it up, right?
But it makes sense for AJ, right? He's like, you always thinking that you don't know who I am. You never heard of New Japan, huh? You ever been to Japan, Logan? Like I thought that he was saying like that, right?
They would have made so much sense. That's so funny. I never thought of that.
Right? It makes sense that you don't know who I am because you're not allowed in Japan. Just something like that,
you
right?
You haven't been to Japan lately, have you?
Like that's all AJ Styles needs to say, but this is one of those ones like it's late, but that's Logan's builds. Logan's builds are never really built complete because he's never there, and when he is there, he's not doing much. But now he's there. I guess his full time is him just cutting more promos and not actually wrestling. I mean, he's only wrestled one Monday Night Raw
match against Ray, right? Yeah.
Against Ray. So that's all they had so far. But I like AJ Styles and Logan. After, like I said before, hearing the Chris Van Vliet interview, it seems like AJ wants this match. But I don't know if they stooped that low. You can't have every Mania build be like a blood feud. Because then like AJ and Logan's not really a blood feud. It's more of like, hey, I just want to beat you type of vibe. Like I think there's, in a proper Mania card, you got to have, all right, this is going to be a banger of a match. This is for blood. This is going to be crazy. This is a good title match. This is a car wreck match, right? That's what these are the different kind of things to round out your Mania so that way you have a great time. I mean, what was it? LW, it was Andrade and Ray versus, who was it? Bobby Lashley and who was the other guy he was facing?
No, definitely not.
That was the Final Testament. It was the Final Testament.
Yeah.
So when they had that match, that was just a reason to bring out the Philadelphia Eagles guys.
No, you're totally getting WrestleMania 40 mixed up, brother. It was Ray and Andrade versus Dominic and Santos. The match you're thinking is the Pride versus Final Testament, and that had Bubba Ray Dudley as the ref and Snoop Dogg on commentary. They're like, we know this match is going to be trash, so we're just going to add a bunch of random stuff.
That match was great with Snoop Dogg on commentary.
Yeah, because they knew that match wasn't going to be good, so they're just like bells and whistles. That was makeup on a pig, and it worked.
So, Santos and Dom getting beaten by the Philadelphia Eagles. I just hate the Eagles. Okay,
I hate them too. I get it. You more than me.
The Eagles, they're terrible, dude. The tush push should be banned.
They're trying to ban it. You see that? They're trying to ban it.
It's an illegal formation. All right, you got linemen over the ball. You should not be in the neutral zone. Come on now. Are we here to play fair? You know what should get banned as well? New York Yankee bats. What's up with that?
Dude, those things are curvaceous. They got such curve at the top. You see those?
What's wrong with you?
I like the bat, man. It's nice.
It
works. Dude, baseball's boring, man. Home runs are good for the sport.
36 runs in 3 games.
I want every baseball player cheating. I want them juiced to the gills. I want them using the cheapest bats possible to get as many home runs. I want everyone to be Barry Bonds out there. That's what I want, brother.
How dare you? It's an American pastime, brother.
The sacred sport of baseball. It's dying, dude. So I'm going to bring it back to life. We're just going to juice up the stats, brother. These are rookie numbers. You got to pump those numbers up.
Did they score 20 runs in one game?
Beautiful. That's the sport right there. That's what we want. That's what we need.
He's on Vince.
Yes, such good shit.
No, man, I think just going back to the whole thing with what we're talking about, the IC title. Sure, I'm down. I'm down with all that. I just think that you're right. You said it last week. It should be a mano a mano, one-on-one type of thing. And then
You
the United
stupid.
States, my Reeves, mira.
Oh man. They're also real. We were talking about like things that they seem to just sort of be rushing out of nowhere. They brought back New Catch Republic in London. Which I think it was smart to bring them back in London because they were going to get no pop in Minneapolis or wherever it is that they were going to be. This was the only place that this return was going to feel important in London. And then they lose to the New Day.
I thought he would go two ways. I was like, this is unfair to New Catch, unfair to New Day because New Day need to win.
100%. I did not want New Day to lose. Like New Day needed the win, so you had New Catch Republic. What are their names? Not New Catch Republic. New
Catch Republic.
No, it's not New Catch Republic. Wait,
New Catch Republic.
There's no. Is it new? This is not New Catch Republic. Hang on. Now we made this up.
No, it is
New Catch Republic.
New Catch Republic.
Dude, why did I think their name didn't have new in it?
It's the New Day versus the New Day versus the New Catch.
Everyone's new, brother. None of this old stuff. Everyone's new. Okay, it's the New Catch Republic.
I Pretty Deadly got a bigger pop than New Catch Republic.
Big time. Because like no one was clamoring for the return of New Catch Republic. I like those guys, but
I like Tyler Bate. I like Tyler Bate. You see those quads on him?
Yeah, man. Tree trunks, brother. Yeah, man.
Good Lord.
Big strong boy. But they're back. They lost to the New Day. And then they're trying to really rush the New Day and War Raiders. War Raiders got no pop when they came out. It was all bad, dude.
It's again I know it's not the best, but the tag team division's got no love overseas. They got zero love. Even Street Profits got zero love. And people were saying it's because of their song. I was like, brother, they literally said, let's introduce our new champions, the Street Profits. No pop.
Because they were facing the hometown boys. They were the bad guys.
No, this was before that. This was the week before before they fought.
Oh, okay.
Where they came out to celebrate their 4 years and they cut a promo and crickets and dog. I cannot do this.
They tried so hard to get this over. They tried so hard.
We said the same thing about Yeet, to be honest with you. If you look back at our podcast, we did not understand 2016 word Yeet. We're like, what's this? We were making fun of him, with the kids. They're like, oh, hey, you better do this.
I remember that. Yeah. You holding the child in a beer, like, drop both of them and Yeet.
Yes, exactly. So, dude, you got to work this out. How can I, some dumbbell raises, right? And a little bit of that.
Yeah, that'll do it.
What about these? What can I do for...
You could probably do. You can do what's called Arnold's, where it's like a regular press, and then you bring them in like this. These are called Arnold's.
What are the lats right here? They got these in the shoulder. Yeah.
No. So this will work a little bit of your. When you do this part, it'll work a little bit of your front delts.
Oh.
Right here, and then you bring them up, and then.
What's your favorite dumbbell exercise?
Ooh. I like a. You know what? I'm a simple man. I like a flat bench press with dumbbells. I can get a nice stretch on the chest with them.
What's the best way to get out of them? Because like I'm now,
you got to be strong.
Like I mean, what do you throw them off to your side? Or
no,
do you
I'm not like that. I kip myself up with them. I use the momentum of the weights to bring me up, and then land them on like my thighs and then put them down. Because
what are you benching there? What's the dumbbell bench there? What per?
Well, what do you mean, like in terms of weight? Or
like 45, 55, 65?
I don't like to go heavier than 60s on those because you can get like a really, really nice like tight exercise if you do volume instead of weight with those. When I try to do heavy, I try to do it under the bar. If I try to do like properly, muscle contractions and I'm trying to feel every single rep, I don't want to go very heavy. I want to be able with dumbbells. if I'm not doing an exercise that is at least 10 reps with dumbbells, it's a bad dumbbell exercise.
So what's your favorite dumbbell? Are we talking about the ones like the hexagon or the circle
Oh, no,
ones?
I'm talking like the fat ones. Yeah, the fat ones.
Oh, what do those look like? I've never seen one of those.
They just look like a big circle with a dumbbell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to get inside the mind of Santi. People want to know you. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, I think you really should invest in showing the people your workouts in the sense of like, hey, today this is Santi's workout for the day. And then you kind of just upload a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've
That'd
already
be
talked
dope.
to the owner of my gym. He's also my trainer. I was like, would you be down to put me through a Sheamus workout
Oh,
for a
that'd be
YouTube
sick.
video? And the YouTube video would be like training like a WWE superstar for a day.
Why don't you just go to Sheamus?
You're right. Yeah. Let me just quickly fucking speed dial Sheamus.
Chris Van Vliet wants to interview you. You're like, well, what if we're in the same town? Sure. Why don't you fly your ass to LA, go to the studio, and hang out with Chris Van Vliet? You could easily get DM Chris Van Vliet and do that, and then you could easily go from him to Sheamus. It's right there. It is right there, Santi.
Listen, me and CVV is gonna happen. We're making it. We're gonna make it happen.
What about you and Dijak?
We might be making something happen there too.
What about you and AJ Francis?
We
Heard
already
you're afraid
made
to say
something
his
happen.
name. Heard you're afraid to say his name. Afraid of a down payment, brother.
I am afraid of a down payment. Wouldn't you be? Have you seen
Hell
that
yeah.
thing?
I think I'm telling best choke slam in the business.
Best choke slam
Hey.
in the biz.
Speaking of the friends we know, shout outs to Tommy Invincible capturing some gold, his first time gold, brother, because he's invincible. Diamonds in the air. You know, shout out to him.
You say diamonds? It's voices.
I like diamonds in the air. Sounds cooler.
That would hurt, man. They'd land. They'd cut you. You know what else is going to be in the air? The luchador, Rey Fenix, flying all over the place, brother. We have Rey Fenix officially debuting next week. I thought they were going to hold him off until after WrestleMania, but here we are, yet another luchador. That is 3 luchadors this year. We have Penta, Grande Americano, and now Rey Fenix being added to the roster. WWE is collecting these luchadors like Thanos collecting the Infinity Stones, man.
All right.
No
sure.
thought? No thoughts on Rey Fenix?
No,
Nope.
no selling your dumb comparison.
Why is it dumb?
I don't know. And that everything has to do with Thanos.
Why not?
Thanos level threat, planetary villain, gauntlet.
You're just
Infinity
mad that
Stones,
we haven't been able to quote the Dark Knight.
I know our quota for the Dark Knights on a whole time.
Yo, somebody called this out. They're like, not enough
They
Dark Knight
did.
quotes.
I'm leaving the Patreon. Whoa, slow down there, brother.
It's time to go mobile on the Patreon.
Don't go anywhere, brother. I'm excited for Rey. It's funny how they did the exact same thing with Penta, where they slowly revealed, and they're like, okay, and then there's a logo, and then the tattoos, and now it's literally Rey. Right? We see his face. It's strange that he's actually be called Rey because of Rey Mysterio. He's been Rey for the longest time. Now we're gonna have Rey Fenix here. Is it Phoenix or Fenix?
It's Fenix.
Phoenix?
No, Fenix.
Phoenix? Like X versus Silver?
Hold on. So the I, treat that like a double E. Fenix.
Phoenix.
Fenix. That's how you properly pronounce it. Rey Fenix.
Rey Phoenix?
But everyone says Rey Fenix, but it's Rey Fenix.
According to who?
To the literal Spanish language.
I almost got you. That was what
to the literal language of Espanol.
No, I wanted to do it. Doesn't matter. I wanted to do it. I was like, he's gonna give a real answer. And he's tired. I don't want him to be mad at me.
Oh,
I'm excited for Rey. Where does he fit? You're right. The logjam is already happening on the card. If Sammy doesn't make Mania and he makes Mania, I think he's gonna be in a multi-man for that United States title. I think it's gonna be the opportunity just to make him shine and do something cool at Mania. I don't think he wins. I think he gets a cool Mania moment, and he's going to be put on the board. I hope he doesn't have a Mania moment like Penta's Rumble moment, but I think there's going to be good things for Rey in the future.
mm-hmm.
He looks cool though.
What do you throw him into at this point though? They just
United States. United
really?
States or bust.
So are we thinking US is going to be a multi-person ladder match? That to me seems It has to be, right? Like there isn't a story, like a singular, like, yeah, that's the one that they should follow, especially now with Jimbo out, as you've been calling him all podcast. I haven't called it out, but you've been calling him Jimbo all podcast. He was like kind of the only one that kind of gave me vibes
Jimbo.
as somebody that could go for it in a one-on-one environment. But now it's just, brother, just throw everyone in the match and make it a ladder match, call it a night, and just have a great car crash.
Jacob Fat 2 is going to be in it. Then Sol Sikoa, Braun Strowman, LA Knight, and Ray Fenix.
I appreciate Braun Strowman trying to keep the Hispano sounding name to it.
I would love it, but you got to remember, like I said, every WrestleMania card, it's a rounded card, and you need a car wreck.
So it'd be a fun
Just
car
look
wreck.
at you just look at yourself for that second.
We're at that point of the podcast where we stop caring about podcast etiquette.
I care, but I hate when I'm doing like a watch party, and because I have my chat right here, right? Because it's on my teleprompter. And so like when I'm making sure, chat's with me, I'll look over. And then when I post a clip, it looks like, oh, am I in frame? Like that's not what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm looking at chat when the moment happens. I've been called out on it. Yeah. United States title is going to be multi-man, but has there ever been a Mania with this many multi-wrestler matches?
I want to say Mania like 16 had like a ridiculous amount. Let me quickly look that one up. Because like the main event was a fatal 4-way. That was like some WrestleMania 16. Let's look that up. That's the only one that comes to mind.
Oh, dude, I love this WrestleMania logo. 2000? WrestleMania 2000?
It is WrestleMania 2000, yeah.
I love that video game. One of the best video games. So you had Big Boss Man and Bull Buchanan and the Godfather and D-Lo with Ice-T and the Hope Train. Hardcore Holly versus Crash Holly. TNA with Trish Stratus defeated Head Cheese with Al Snow and Steve Blackman.
Multi-man. We've had 2 tag matches so far.
Edge and Christian defeating the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys in the Triangle Ladder match.
Another tag match.
Terry Runnels with the Fabulous Moolah versus the Cat and Mae Young.
2-minute match.
And that was Cat Fight with Val Venus as a special guest referee. China and Too Cool of Grandmaster Sexay and Scotty 2 Hotty defeating the Radicals of Perry Saturn, Dean Malenko, and Eddie Guerrero. That's an
intergender match.
Right? And then you have the first fall was for the Intercontinental title for Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, and Kurt Angle. And then the second fall was the European title.
Dude, what a convoluted Mania, right?
With Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, and Kurt Angle. And then you had Kane and Rikishi with Paul Bearer defeating D-Generation X with Xbox and Road Dogg and Tori. Remember they got Tori in we saw that in a match club. Remember the winner gets Tori in a contract? Was that the match that they got that? That was weird. Triple H with Stephanie McMahon Helmsley defeating The Rock with Mr. McMahon, Mick Foley with Linda McMahon, and Big Show with Shane McMahon.
Bro, what a fatal mess. What a mess of a freaking...
Oh, and there was a hardcore championship battle royale title change that happened there too.
Dang, bro. Well, yeah, that hardcore Holly versus Crash Holly, that was a battle royal. So I think, dude, is every single match like multi-person match with the exception of the Terry Runnels versus the Cat? So that Mania takes the cake.
Special guest referee, Val Venus.
That's true. Hello. I think that Mania takes the cake for
the fact that you
man. Dude, that's what I do. That's what I do. I used to, the career started with wrestling trivia. It's not really there anymore. Or is it, Sancho?
Yes.
You'll see soon, folks. You'll see soon.
Yeah.
We're almost done here. Actually, I think we might be done. The last thing I have here is LA Knight walks out of Mania champ. Did you have some thoughts here? Did you want to turn on the Glaze Factory?
No, the Glaze Factory were fine. I mean, LA Knight, fun showing it there, but I'm just saying it's a question mark. Do you think LA Knight walks out of Mania as champion?
I do. I do, because there isn't really, like, I look at how much of a just sort of placement to have people for the sake of having people match this is, that it would feel kind of like a disservice to have the title change hands in in a match that has little to no story narrative behind it, you might as well just have a fun car wreck and let LA Knight win and then start a proper story for the title after WrestleMania. He just won the thing.
Well, you remember when the IC title with Zack Ryder? That's what we saw. That felt like
that felt pretty. That felt pretty token as well. Yeah, that felt like.
Well, they could do that with Ray.
Maybe.
Fenix.
Maybe.
It just would be a bad look for LA Knight to lose on
that's the thing,
the biggest stage, right?
I agree.
But I think the only person that could beat LA Knight, it's Jacob Fatu. I think that's the only person that could beat him without looking bad to LA Knight. But are we saying that there is no Solo versus Jacob? Is that happening?
I would assume it's going to happen. Sancho, can you take care of the people and talk about Solo and Jacob Fatu? I'll be right back.
Sure. Santi's going to go poo himself. He can't defend himself because he already walked away. No, it'd be interesting to say. I don't know, because it's a shame that Solo Sikoa, hello everybody, Solo Sikoa is essentially being put on the back burner, and I think the only reason why Solo has seemingly forced his way to be Jacob's hype man is if he has a better plan. I mean, Jacob Fatu is running around, he's controlling it, but I don't know. I don't buy that Jacob Fatu has the experience or the politics in his mind where he could foresee that Solo's going to screw him over. I mean, right now he's saying all these things that, hey, you better fall in line or get out of the way type of thing. That certainly could be an option for Jacob Fatu to eventually face Solo, but I feel like right now there's just not enough time. And I think that we said this as well, the concern that of John Cena, of Cody Rhodes, now we have to properly build up CM Punk and Roman and Seth Rollins, that the mid-card and all these other things, they're not going to have strong builds. What did you do?
I didn't poo myself. I heard that bit right before I walked away.
But no, I was just saying that this is another situation where Solo and Jacob don't have enough time to build up to something like memorable or something mania worthy. Right now, we're going to fill in a lot of the blanks, and it's more going to be, I think it'll be unceremoniously a wrong time to kill off Solo Sikoa. I think the only time it'll hit bigger if Jacob Fatu was screwed over by Solo more blatantly Mania, thus completing the face turn of Jacob Fatu.
So you want Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa post Mania as a program?
Yeah,
and have
like
Mania be the place, and have Mania be the place where the first big bullet gets fired between these two.
Yeah, because right now it's like it's in the air, it's wafting in the air. You know, it's cooking. You could smell it. You could feel it coming. It's like it's right around that corner. But I don't think Solo Sikoa, you would kill off anything that Solo Sikoa built off in 2024. And I still don't. I know a lot of people want to throw away Solo Sikoa, and I don't want to.
It's barely hanging on by a thread, brother. Why? Whatever he's doing, it's barely hanging on by a thread.
Why? Tell me that it's human nature. Why? Why are you living this way, Santi? Why would you get rid of?
I'm just seeing what I'm seeing, man. And Solo Sikoa just every month just keeps losing some of that aura.
What do you want Solo to do? Put on yellow sunglasses and dance in the middle of the ring?
Well, I never wanted Solo Sikoa in this position. That's the crux.
Where'd you want Solo? Where'd you want Solo? Back with Roman?
Yeah,
being right hand man.
Yeah,
the right.
How
you justify that?
So Solo as the tribal chief just never worked for me. I'm saying that Solo going off on his own never worked for me.
Solo as the tribal chief never worked for me. That's you. That's you right now. That doesn't make sense. Like, I think where the WWE dropped the ball with Solo is when he said, if Roman wins, I will fall in line. And I'm like, oh, great. This would be interesting. What would Solo do back with the camp of Roman Reigns and everyone? Because he said, we will all fall in line. And clearly the WWE said, we're squashing the bloodline. There's no more bloodline. Roman's by himself with Paul Heyman. And I think the reason why they did that to open the door for the screw job from Wiseman and Roman. Because if he had the bloodline with him and Paul Heyman turned on him with CM Punk, you can't buy that the bloodline wouldn't be there to help Roman. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
So you have to strip away everything that Roman Reigns has to leave him vulnerable for that turn from CM Punk. That was a Black Panther reference when they were saying, you were stripped away, the power of the Black Panther.
You were stripped away. That's true. That's a good line. What is that a bowl of that you have to your right?
It's a succulent plant.
I thought it was a big old salad.
Oh, the succulent plant. Look at this guy.
How much for you to eat it?
Dude, I've always wanted a succulent plant. This is like another organism. This is like a little buddy here, dude. Looks at him.
Plastic. What's his name?
You know what? We should name him.
Yeah.
What should we name this guy? Chat, let us know in the comments so we could drown out all the European hate.
We should create a $500 Patreon tier. Just one person, whoever takes it, gets to be the plant.
No, they're gonna name it something dumb and stupid, and I don't want that. All right, this is my butt. I've always wanted a succulent plant in this, and then you know who protects the succulent plant? Right next to him. That's right. You're the travel team.
Bro, you're a child. I look at your room. You are a child.
Look at your room. You have two little. Look at your room.
Now look at yours. You got the little arcade cabinet over there. Bro, you got your own neon sign made. You paid somebody to make a sign of you.
No, of us. I haven't hung it up yet, but it's us. This is WIC. What's wrong with you?
Don't bring me into
this is
your
not
foolishness.
This is not a neon sign. This is a wood sign, sir. All right, wood, real wood.
That's a little.
It is legit. And then I got my plaque right here, dude. My YouTube plaque.
Good old YouTube plaque.
Good old YouTube plaque. Where's your YouTube plaque?
Back there. Got two of them.
I don't see anything. Tua.
I got Tua. You see, Tangaloa is returning in June, and I made a joke about how he's gonna accidentally show up in May.
All your jokes are gonna catch up to you. You do know that, right?
How is that? That was the most harmless joke ever.
He probably read that. He just went notebook, wrote your name in it, and then closed it.
He's got a death note.
Oh yeah, I think there has to be not a lot of WWE wrestlers interact with you. The last one did got let go. So hey, there has to be someone out there that knows that talks about you around.
Yeah, they're like, hey, don't interact with this guy. Get yourself fired.
You get yourself fired. I can't believe Dijak didn't take it out on you. That would have been a great program right after that. Is just to come after you and just harass you at any moment. Please, Dijak.
Right. Shall we bring this home?
Oh, you turned into a little pumpkin. You got 5 minutes into your pumpkinage, dude. 5 minutes until you turned into a pumpkin.
Dude, the dilapidated pumpkin.
Right now, the bell hasn't rang yet. It hasn't rang to the strike of midnight, Cinderella. Why don't you just slow down a little bit, okay, big guy?
What do you want to talk about? We got 5 minutes.
Sancho. What do you want to talk about? All right, quick prediction. Does Cena bury Cody in any other way, or is that over? Like that ship is passed. We're past that now. Now we're on to different pastures.
No, Cena ain't burying Cody in no capacity.
Do we see Cena again? I know he hasn't been promised. He hasn't been scheduled. Is this the last time we see Cena until Mania? Because it's a great note to leave after. I just hoping that if Cena doesn't appear, please don't send Cody out there by himself.
Yeah,
I don't need to see Cody go out there like Cody and me and Cena. I buried him. I don't want that. Like, leave Cody on ice too if you're gonna have Cena on ice.
Yeah, I think we do get Cena again unadvertised. I would love for it to be a backstage attack, Mama Road style. That would hit so hard if it's an unadvertised appearance in a
you want your Mickey Mouse John Cena to go out there and go, oh, look at you now, Cody. Oh, that's not gonna happen.
Well, then what do you want? What do you want from this Cody? What do you want from this Cena?
I'm telling you, he doesn't have that dog in him like the great one.
Hey man, watch the backlot brawl, the parking lot brawl between John Cena and Eddie Guerrero, and then come back to me and tell me that he doesn't have that dog in him.
I know he does. He literally stole Ray's championship the next day. Or the same night. Was it the same night?
It was the same night. It was within 2 hours. Biggest heel move. Ray wins the WWE championship for the first time. Hey, Ray, can I please have a championship match? How about tonight? Okay.
That's what they wanted with EO, didn't you? You wanted EO just to go, okay, I'm here to prove myself.
Yeah, I'd WrestleMania, not the same night, you dumbass Rey Mysterio.
Oh,
Still
my
dumb. Why would
goodness.
he agree to that?
So, last question that we have here, rapid fire. Does Malachi Black show up? Aleister Black show up before? Does he get the Ray?
I don't think so. I think he's after WrestleMania. Some people saw the Roman numeral number 4 and then the Roman numeral number 25, kind of like maybe saying April 25th, right after WrestleMania. Actually, is that right after WrestleMania? Is that a Friday?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Isn't crazy WrestleMania is an Easter Sunday?
It's so weird.
Easter?
So weird. I have to miss Easter dinner because of this, which sucks. Yeah.
And you're gonna watch Damian Priest instead. Huh?
Yeah, undead Damian Priest. It feels sacrilege to miss my Easter stuff to watch wrestling.
What's the dinner? Is it like a roast beef, pot roast? What are we talking about here?
It depends. Like if I'm with my Latino family, there's none of that. It's like empanadas. It is Latino food. It's like it becomes a carne asada basically. Okay. That's a big celebration. With my white family, Sarah's side, it is more like a Christmas dinner type of vibe. Like, it could be a turkey, it could be a roast, things like that. Vegetables, mashed potatoes, things like that.
Not anymore, brother. It's all WWE.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be just eating the WWE Kool-Aid that whole weekend.
Okay. It's gonna be a good, man. I think we're this Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Oh my God! Pause. Wait a minute. Stop the presses.
I have 45 seconds before I turn into a pumpkin.
Can we talk about Naomi, brother?
Oh yeah.
My God, dude! Naomi with the Jordan Peele type of vibe. The nope and us to get out vibes, right? The caution tape and her banger line, proceed with caution. So generically cliche, but so awesome the way it was delivered. And then her coming out destroying BFAB and Michin. Hold on, wait a minute.
I have a thought on this. I believe that if they stick with this could be what propels Naomi into perennial main event. Listen, I like the glow. I like the fun Naomi, but there is a ceiling that is really low for her with that character because there are so many more popular, more beloved babyface in the women's division. But this type of heel doesn't exist in the women's division.
Right.
We have the pompous heel, the Charlottes of the world. We have the annoying heel. But something that Triple H has not yet booked for the women is the scary justified heel. They did it with Kevin Owens really well, right? They're trying it right now with John Cena. They've done a good job of booking the justified heel, and the justified heel has become a very popular type of character to book for. Now bring that to the women's division. Make that Naomi, and her ceiling is so much higher because the women's division needs this type of character. They don't need the glow. The glow is one that you can bring in. Yeah, sure, we need a useful main eventer for this program, but we're not really going to put the bootstraps on them. This character, this could be what makes her a proper main eventer.
You want to know how I lost the glow? She's in the Joker world. I love it. I think you're right. There's more ceiling to it, and then you have the Nia Jaxes and the Candice LeRae as the other heels. There's nothing much. What's interesting is I think Zoe Stark is coming around to be a heel because you ever seen her tweeting at Rhea and tweeting at all these women wrestlers for their outfits and attire, and she's like, they should censor this. I think she's trying to bring back the right to censor.
Dude, she's got the look for right to censor.
She has the look, dude. And if they could pull that off with Shayna Baszler, I think that'd be a welcome change for their. I mean, considering that the PFC is, rest in peace, no longer around. But dude, Naomi, I think was by far the coolest thing out of Friday Night SmackDown for me. That one was just like, oh my God, there's something brewing in the distance. There's a storm right around the corner, and that is Naomi. Dude, you gotta admit, that's the dumbest.
So corny.
It's the dumbest. It's the dumbest producer tag.
It is.
Come on,
a storm is coming. We're at 2 hours, man. I'm pumpkining out.
Okay. Does Naomi? So is it going to be Naomi Jade at Mania?
It has to be. Listen. We talked about some feuds that have been kind of rushed. Here's maybe a little bit of a hot take. All right, maybe you agree,
Ooh,
maybe
hot
you
take.
disagree.
Post pumpkin hot take, folks.
Post pumpkin hot take. There might be feuds with bigger storylines, bigger star power, bigger stakes, but there is no better grassroots from the ground up WrestleMania feud better than Jade Cargill and Bianca and Naomi right now. That is the best, like, true pound for pound WrestleMania feud right now. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. You know what would add more heat to that?
What?
If Naomi took out Bianca, and that would
Sure.
solve their issue.
But
that
like
they have with-
everything that they've done to this point knocked it out of the park. The attack on Jade, the thing that happened at Elimination Chamber, the character change with Naomi. They haven't had a single face plant with the buildup of this feud. That's why I think it's the best built feud in this WrestleMania season.
we can't forget, dude, when Naomi was backstage with Bianca and Nick Aldis, guess who was there giving her like the "I know what you're up to" vibes. I see where you're coming from. It was Drew McIntyre looking at Naomi.
Screwed me.
You screwed Jay, didn't you, Naomi? So that's so exciting that that's happening. But I think we were onto something. You know, we had our complaints about Rhea, Io, and Bianca, but this should be like higher on the card. This should be much more excitement now. Naomi has to. She's going to lose, but I think if Naomi loses, she has to smile about it. A little Bray Wyatt-ish, you know. She has to be like, "Ooh, you're sick, Naomi," because we all know you can't have Jade lose after what happened, right? That's bad for your face to lose. But if the heel likes losing to Jade and it's happy about it, then you're like, "Oh, I want to know what else is cooking behind that brain of yours, Naomi," because when the glow is gone, you know.
I'm laughing at you. Want to know how I lost the glow?
Tell us, Naomi, please, because that vignette was so cool. I love it. And then she had the razor blade necklace. Some little demented stuff in that. And then they cut to her smiling.
I can't wait for them to give her a terrible entrance theme, though. It's gonna be so bad. You know it is, because she can't come out to N-A. Yeah, they're gonna change her theme.
What it was like Bray Wyatt was like in and he goes Ray or grrr, and it grinded to like a stop, and it had some annoying Skrillex, you know.
Oh, if now instead of coming out to fun EDM, she's coming out to like the heavy metal dubstep. That'd be crazy.
I think her caution attire is sick though. I think it's perfect.
The caution tape, isn't that Owen Hart?
Owen Hart.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Owen Hart, but he was with Nation of Domination, so it kind of stood out for Owen to be that way. It's like that was when Owen was by himself, when Bret Hart. So it's interesting that that's the reference that they put, because when Bret Hart left, that's why he was the little nugget. You're nothing but a nugget. The thing left in the pool after the flush. Cold thing to say. It's a cold thing to tell somebody, and that was Triple H. That was the
filthy.
real.
That was filthy. All right, now can we bring it home, Sancho?
Yeah.
Can you let me free?
It is past. Yes.
All right. It is past the 2-hour mark, so Sancho will allow me to go home and sleep.
Go home to your dumb mice and go back to cleaning for your stepmother, Cinderella.
Jeez Christ, man. All right. That's a very triggering thing you just said to me. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching.
You could be with the prince, brother, right here. Dude.
Oh yeah, brother, you are the you're the Timu prince. You are Groot like a shit.
I'm telling you, dude. If she transformed in front of the prince wouldn't give a damn. The prince loved her, dude. Love at first sight, dude. And she's like running away because she didn't want to see him in the rags.
You don't love me after 2 hours. I turn into a pumpkin, and I can see the disgust in your face whenever I transform.
I'm a bad poker player. How can I say? I just look at you like this.
Ooh. You just wilt like a November pumpkin.
Yep.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast. An extra special
Sancho's
thank you.
A succulent plant. No matter how much water you give him or don't water, he keeps on living, dude. No matter what the circumstances.
Who's the succulent of the WWE?
Oh, good point.
Who's the succulent of the WWE?
Okay, the succulent plant could live in arid weather, doesn't need a lot of water, does a lot with a little water, goes a long way.
Ziggler?
I was gonna say Natalia.
Oh, Natalia's a great succulent. Yeah.
Looks
I
like
like
she's
that.
about to get a little water with Maxine to do pretty.
Yeah, and she's gonna be at GCW Bloodsport.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that's a good answer. I think you picked the right one. I think Natalia would be the succulent of the WWE if we were making them all plants. Nice.
Who's the fern?
I'm ending this. Thank you to our $15 patrons. They get their names read out here as part of the credits. So thank you to John Cena won the promo battle. If you know, you know. First patron, Crazy Dude says, I'm really missing Duke Hudson, Fly High, Abdullah Kaja, Adam Pacina, Aiden, Adrian Bestie, Aiden S, Alex Regal, Alex, Alan the Teflon Don, American Nightmare, Cody
Speaking
Lander,
of
Anita
Alan,
Maxwin.
Did you see Alan get owned by The Rock?
I did. Alan got owned. That should be his new username.
It is Alan Owens, dude. That's his
Yeah.
that's his username. But Alan got owned.
Thank you for explaining the joke, Sancho. Thank you
Hey,
for explaining my good, subtle joke.
All I know is Alan's probably jazzed. I would love The Rock to hate on me.
Yeah, man. Alan got owned. Alan got owned. Would you like to explain the joke again, Sancho?
Santi, let me tell you the joke, Santi.
Anita Maxwin, Anthony A, Antony Arrogance, Ashley Asperlitz, Ozzy Kingslayer, Austin Gregory, Authentic Chocolate, Bailey Saunders, BFD is the skull crushing finale with less steps, Be Hostile, Blast Pass 64, Blue Butt, Bluefish, Bradley Williams, Brady Keaton, Caden McGlynn, Brandon Fribley, Brandon Jalem, Bryce Bird, Bryson Miller, Caleb Hurley, Caleb Williams, Cameron Noel, Cameron Waring, Cameron Talks WWE, Carlos Gonzalez, CB, Cena, Cody, Double Turn at Mania, Cena could fart and it would blow Santi away, Chase Rose, Chimchars Collectibles, Chris Butner Lucas, Chris Easties, Chris Eric Clark Jr.
You're gonna be the guy you looked at you're like, oh honey, $25,000? Should I afford this? Honey, maybe I should have dinner with John Cena.
Christian Billick Clay, CM Drunk, Colby Mayo, Colin Roach, conductor of the Pentatrain, Connor Fitzsimmons, Connor Huffman, Connor Williamson, Cool Whip Tim, Corey King, Sci-Fi, Dalton Dunbar, Daniel, Danny Lamp, Danny Gunk, Darren Dunstan, Dick Girl, Derek Barnhart, Devin Greets, Digi 316, D Lopez, Dom should win everything, Drew Ashford, Dumsky, Dylan Ariola, Dylan Kana, Eduardo Avila, El Jochi, El Ferreira, Emmanuel Holmes, Derek Ruiz Romero, Aaron Thorne, everybody loves Henry Ramon. Oh, that Henry.
You got to do it right. He wrote it a certain way.
Everybody loves Henry Ramon. Oh, that Henry. Extreme Madness 98. Ice Ant is going to run from the taser, Sammy. Oh, man. Do you know what that's from?
No. Is it from the Jackass event?
Yeah, so our Patreon ad for that week, it ran for like 3 weeks. So it always would start with, Sammy, run from the taser, Sammy. And it became a little bit of a wrestling brain rot in my community. I can't remember why, but like we went like with it took us a while to be able to record the new one or the new ad. So for a long time, it was Sammy, run from the taser, Sammy. Fishing with Papa J, Fletcher Walpole, Floating, FMFCMA, Forever Wrestling, Fruitful Vibes, Gamerscape, George Valdez, Gilbert Deans, Goatman of Cheese, Grayson Swan, GXA Man Heartfelt, hey, it's me, Rey Mysterio, hey Shakes, Holden Tudix, Holden Tudix, nice, good job. Hoodie Cam, I'm Rick James, bitch.
He got you.
You got me good. Ian McNugget, I'm Braun Strowman. Oh my God, have some.
Yeah, hold on, I got it. I'm Braun Strowman.
Picture is literally Braun Strowman. Isaiah Rodriguez, it's a David, it's me, No, it's Mr. It's Astro Kid, it's Christian, Jack Gibley, Jackson, Jacob Mueller, Jacob Pena, Jacob Staffel, Jaden Solomon Jones, Jake Shavoya, Jacob Kufis, James Brian Balago, Jason De Dios, Javier Rodriguez, Jalen Steele, Jalen Angel, JC Worley, Gene Carlos Capelan, Jeremiah Finley, Jahihi, Ahihi, JJ, Joe Velez, Joe Romig, Jolly Green Giant, Jordan Lynch, Jaws B, Jose Ceja, Josh Musto, Judson Daniels, Juicy J, Juliana Sarfi, Justin Brooks, Justin Perkins, Justin Rivera. That was a lot of J's, brother. Caden Rivers, Kai Lone Star Jordan, Caleb Martin.
Everybody
Kinsaku.
change your name to Jay next week.
Less J's, please. Kevin Bega, Kuwaiti Rick Boogs, Kyrie Lawrence. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lauren Baker. Again, I said it wrong. It's Barker. Lauren Barker.
They said that was an accident. That wasn't planned at all.
Is that they confirmed in the comments? All right.
Patreon comments, by the way.
Liam, Lil Shifu, Luis Aguilar, Luke Parker, Luca Sika, Minley Man, Marnie YCSM, Matthew Dollar, Matthew Oberg, Matthew Watkins, Mossy, Max Dupree, McQueen X, Mackay, Meredith Lee, Michael Purnell, Michael Paz, Michael Vera, Midcard J Uso is now in Yo City, Miguel Paredes, Mikey Rada, Mitchell X, Mohammed Albanai. My dad left to go forget a Finn Balor singles push. He's coming back, brother. Win Balor. Nathaniel Stevenson, Nellen Zach, Nicholas Kyle, Nighthawk, Nina Ray, NyQuil Pad, Noah Booth, Noah Burden. Not everybody loves Henry Ramon because he's a jerk. Who is Henry Ramon? What is, dude? we got lore with Henry Ramon in these now. What the hell is going on with our patrons? Obi Novi, Oliver Hammonds, Orion Rodriguez, Osama Awad, Pat R, Pat McMark, Peter Novak, Pim Caw, Preston Smith, Frody, Puke 1904, Puppet Spanker Johnson, Randy Cooper, Reaper God, Ricardo Ramirez, Rick Marr, Ricky Dutcher, Robert Holder. I don't know why I made you Hispanic there, buddy, by calling you Roberto. Robert Holder, Robert Rogers, Rock Block CJ, Rocky B, Royce Ruffo, Riley, Ced Vega, Sam Duke. Sancho doesn't get a safe space. Santi's love child of Cena. Sancho Santi, Saska, Sadi Rigbug, Scarlet K, Scotty Bear 92, Screamo Scott, Semba, Seymour Butts, Shaggy WWE, Shane Shitstain Nakamura, Simon Scareborn, CEO, Sir Alberton, Slowtoke Rodriguez, Solo, I love you, Solo, fuck you, Stephanie Vaca, look-alike contest in my bedroom, Stephen Corby, Stucky, Sugar Shane, Sugar Malachi Galaxy, Taco Bullfish, Tim and Bryant, Tanner Cloudis, Taylor Moon, that one Santi Zab story where he showed toes, Mr. Zappason, boot up some COD custom lobbies, Timmy Fitzmaurice, Toasty Boy, Tobias Burnett, Tom Lehman, Trendhead, Page 6, Sancho, Tyler Free, Tyler Logan, Tyler McGarry, Vegan Penguin, Venom, Vin Diesel is the only one that can beat Cena, Juan Pablo III, where's that referee? The Rock's trying to fuck me, White Mexican, William Newton, Willie Cecil, WWE Undisputed Dumbass, Sir Nightmare, The Hub, I'll just say that he put the whole link, Xavier D. Lewis, Javier Izquierdo, Zach Mira, Deadshot, Zach Griffin, Zach Hewitt, Zach Butcher, Zay2K, Zergzito, Zoom, hashtag We Want More Sancho Analogies, and Lord BBNJ. That is the most $15 patrons we've ever had. So we do thank you.
What was the last one?
What?
What was the last one? Sancho's what?
The last one was Lord BBNJ. Before that is We Want More Sancho Analogies. Like comparing Raquel Rodriguez and Rhea Ripley to Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels. Remember that good old classic, that goodie from the early days of Wrestling is Cool? Folks, thank you so much for watching this episode or listening. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Be wonderful people. Goodbye.
You ever been to Japan, Logan?